Hello
Keeping
and
calm and continuing testing.
for fuck's sake. Why when I just start talking? Why? Why do you do this
I
to
am
me?
so sorry. I did not mean to do that at all.
But you did.
My timing is garbage. I'm so sorry.
It's weird. Your timing is actually great in character. Out of character, it absolutely bites.
Yeah, so sorry.
It's out of your system now?
Oh, yes.
Anything else? Just making sure?
Nothing. Zilch. I refuse to bungle that again.
Isn't it good that I paused for a second? Because I was about to start and then you said that. I'm almost tempted to show people what I have to put up with in the first 10 minutes.
Up with which you have to put.
You know what? Fuck it. Hello and welcome to Critical Tumble. Look at what I have to deal with!
You love us and our shenanigans.
You? Yes? Your shenanigans? Sometimes. Sometimes. Now is verging on not one of those times. Anyway, when last we left the Cupcake Coterie, they were getting riotously drunk. Because they are bidding hail and farewell to one Clarity Mellereth, who, after some unfortunate news, or information more to the point, regarding the potential current situation of her brother, which ain't good, is basically decided to half live in one of the largest libraries on the continent, and additionally spend 2 years helping caretake a rich arcanist's home and his library and his 5 cats with an incredibly attractive, really sweet half-elf druid, of all things. So, as far as these kinds of things go, she's okay, brother in a really bad situation, which is not good, but at the very least, she's in a pretty good place, or is going to be. Of course, now she's waking up with one of the world's worst hangovers, wishing for death. As are all of you.
Oh.
The pile does nothing! The pile does nothing!
Oh, someone lay on hands on my brain.
Yeah,
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Actually, I think
Groping around for clarity and immediately casting Lesser Restoration first.
you've now been lesser restoration. Do you feel much better?
Oh, that's nice.
And
Thank you, Hazel.
it occurs that Froseth has probably never been drunk before. Drunk, well, hungover dragonborn. That's
Where is everybody? Bernard! Ow!
This seemed like a good idea at the time. Wait, no. This seemed like a good idea at the time.
It was a delicious idea at the time.
Stop shouting.
You first.
I am getting up. Still headachy, stumbling out trying to figure out where everyone else is.
well, you're all in the same room. You more or less. No, sorry, 2 rooms, so it's girls and boys. So you've got Clarity and Remy, who's... I don't know how Remy deals with hangovers, but it really is probably just lying there like, if they don't stop making noise in the next 2 minutes, I have a sword.
Yeah. Yeah, Remy will soldier onwards and downstairs. Water.
Yeah. These 3 are in their respective rooms, fighting to. Well, they're in the room that was basically rented out for the guys. Basically trying to keep everything they drank last night down, because among other things, I don't think a creature with frost breath is going to be wanting to. Anyway.
Walking over to Froseth first, Lesser Restoration.
Oh. Thank you.
Welcome.
Can
If
I
she-
get anyone some water or some bread?
Yeah, Hazel still
No,
looks like
no
shit,
food.
by the way.
No food.
Walking over to Darwin next. Lesser
Get-
restoration again.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna. I mean, it was my
got
idea.
one left.
Hmm.
Who wants it? Actually, no. That's the. I think no. That not even one left. That's the last one. That was it. I don't got any more. Oh, I'm gonna fall over now.
Remy at least can do lay on hands.
I'm not actually doing it.
Collapsing on the same spot where I left. Hopefully,
I'm not
Clarity has gotten out of the way because I am just dropping.
I am not actually casting it, but I'm tempted to throw sleep on myself.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, except that those of you who have been hit with lesser restoration will remember that Clarity actually had a meeting with Andre after breakfast to show around the library and stuff like that.
I hand my water skin to people. Okay, here, you need to hydrate. I've got to meet with Andre a bit, so I don't know how long this all of you are going to take.
I am already downing like half the water.
There's a knock at the girls' room door at that point, and Maury, everyone decent?
Mostly.
I just mean, are you dressed? I don't think any of you got undressed last night. You know, I know where I work. Decent is a relative term.
I'm still wearing stuff.
Opens the door and she's come in with cups of really herbal smelling tea. Not too much different to what they gave Darwin. What Mom and Mama gave Darwin after the incident at the Golden Bough, where there was drinking and singing on tables and Clarity verbally bitch slapping poor Heseltine.
Great.
And some sort of light bread rolls. Is your bod friend all right?
I
You're
think
in the
he's
next room.
fine. I praise Payor's light for magic. Ow!
She puts a hand on Hazel's head, and Hazel feels a lot better.
Eh,
Barry deserves a little praise as well. Walks out.
I love you.
Oh.
Yeah, so it appears in. I will be adding 5 silver to your tab for that. Walks out. Knocks on the gentleman's quarters. Poor Nye. Bap.
Silent image, really heavy curtains.
Everyone dressed?
Uh huh. And it's actually my clothes.
Yes, it wasn't
Has that
quite.
been...
It
I
wasn't.
don't want to know.
You really haven't got out much, have you, lad? It puts a hand on Nye's head with lesser restoration. I've brought tea and news from your friend Torin. Apparently there's going to be something of a law moot at the Academy Library. Late morning-ish. So, you obviously finish your tea, come down to breakfast, but this is something that apparently your Bardic College does. You gather in libraries and you... I was...
Exchange information. Yes.
Yes, I was told that apparently someone had a song that might be of interest to you. Uh, been talking to... We was talking to Orin when I came down. Something about two-headed snakes. It was very bizarre. Anyway,
Yes.
breakfast is... I'm not getting involved. I wouldn't be alive to run this place if I got involved. There's going to be orange buns, scrambled eggs, and bacon downstairs. And apples off. So yes, you have tea to take any last lingering headache. Turns around, pokes her head back into the girls' room, looks at Remy, tuts, shakes her head. Lesser restoration, walks out. Doesn't say a word, just...
tea.
Yeah, you just wave, thank you.
Ugh. Huh. This does good things. I need to figure out how to make this.
I am assuming that properly restored, even if that is tacking some bits onto your room tab for the night.
Worth it.
You are settled enough of stomach to come downstairs and have breakfast. The bacon smells richer than you're used to, and actually comes in larger rashers. That is a bigger pig than you're used to.
Eh,
And Orin is just going, "Is wild boar."
that's a lot of pig.
Yes. Is much of tusk too. Points to this razor sharp frickin' set of tusks now mounted above the stove, which he's using to hang pots on.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Tusk indeed.
Takes a wooden spoon, bap on the head.
Ow! I just got that fixed.
Eat up. I wish to see as many people as possible eat that thing he tried to kill me.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Then bacon's on the list.
So yes, it's only Froseth, Nye, and Darvin who know about the upcoming Lormoot. So you have breakfast. It's a little quieter today. Apparently everybody was carousing, so it's mostly just people becoming one with their coffee.
Oh.
Praise to the goddess Kafina.
So you're going to go into a library and sing?
He's a bard.
Kinda.
He sings everywhere.
Aren't
Given-
libraries supposed to be quiet?
That's what I thought, but I
There's
wasn't quite
exceptions.
sure.
Is kind of bard.
well, that library has all kinds of rooms. I assume maybe they have some sort of place where this would happen.
Like a theater.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, this I gotta see. We're all going.
I don't know if... Okay. I mean, you're welcome to try. I don't know. I've never done this, so I don't
Hey,
know
if
what
I'm not following you, I'm following Clarity.
Okay. Not a bad choice. I've never done this before, so I don't know what the protocol is. So I don't know if it's a bard's only thing or what, but we can find out. I'm fine with that.
And
Exactly.
Maury refilling coffee. Did you ever just think to ask around? This isn't Baronsville anymore. People have actually heard of you. Not specifically you, although some have now, but the College of
Oh,
Law
you mean
is...
bards?
Yes, well, I mean College of Law bards. There are other colleges. Some of them
That's true.
are desperately creepy. You never want to meet a College of Whispers bard.
Creepy.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah, just
They use-
wow.
They use all that bardic gift to essentially manipulate people through fear.
Oh, that's no fun.
It's like
That
magic.
is really creepy.
It's like magical psychic blackmail. It's.
No, that's not. It's so not my style.
Hey, babe.
I think that the bard is currently doing work stuff. So.
Sorry about that. Yes, it's actually legitimate.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
So, well, I mean, I'm assuming all the bards are going to be going to the thing. So I don't know who.
She actually takes Darvin's face in her hands and gently turns so that she's looking right at her. You are in a tavern full of mercenaries, and bards like to talk. You could just ask anyone, and they might know. Let's
Okay.
go.
I'm an idiot. To be fair, I'm not done with this coffee yet. And then goes, boom! I'm done with this one. Could I have another, please?
Refills.
Thank you so much. So I will look around and see, who looks like a bard.
There aren't any specifically bard-looking individuals at the moment, but there's plenty of individuals who look like they are from mercenary companies that seem amicable enough. And as luck would have it, although Clarity's the only one who's actually met her, bright red tiefling with very dark hair tied in a braid walks in, sits down at the table next, gives a sort of a half salute to Clarity, and gestures Maury over with the... And Maury turns up with eggs, bacon, coffee.
You know
Hmm?
her?
Oh, we met briefly a few nights ago.
A couple of nights ago. The first night you guys were there.
Yeah, when we first arrived and I skidded off to make friends with cats.
That is still adorable. I'm going to miss you so much.
Yeah.
We are going to have to return with lots and lots of stories about lots and lots of cute things. And I'll let you know if I get turned into anything else inspirational.
Well, write me letters, lots of letters, and
As I can. Here and there.
Because you haven't named the person that's just walked in.
Oh, that's Mava.
Mava.
That's Mava.
No!
She's
Hello.
she's the an adopted sibling of Ali from the Sweetwater.
Oh, yes.
As
yes,
as
with the teachers.
Hazel has been waving, May actually focuses on her for a minute, gets up, walks over to Hazel, grabs her by the front of the armor, nose to nose, yoink, out of the chair. You gave Ali that gem? Really? It's been crispy knit all night.
What happened?
The roof is not anymore.
Oh,
Puts
jeez.
Hazel
I
back
should've
in the
left-
chair. So you guys
I
were
should've
there
left
for
more
that.
gold.
Boom.
I am absolutely panicked.
I should have left more gold.
I come home for a week's furlough, and now we don't have a roof. You don't even want to see the kitchen.
Is there at least enough left to be called a kitchen?
If
Oh,
you've lived
boy.
there all your life, yeah, kinda.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh Lord. Oh Lords. Gods. Just everybody.
It's you kind of get used to it, but it had to be this week. You had to give her
Yeah.
handfuls of gems for those contraptions of hers this week. Couldn't have been next week. I couldn't have just had being at home.
I'm sorry. Am I?
Lyra's right. You are too cute to live. Ruffle, 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 ruffle. Yeah, I think Clarity there has told you. Mavis Sweetwater. I've run with a few mercenary companies over the years. I'm actually moving on to the Dawn Guard. This coming back to the Southern Lands. Yay. I'd say you're well out of it, but you're with adventurers, looking at Remy. I don't think you got it
Yeah,
any better than me.
yeah, we're more in it than not. um, so you wouldn't happen to know anything about this lore meet thing? Like I'm new to being a bard, and apparently that's a thing in the library. But everybody here was like, "We'll go too," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't know if it's a bard's only thing or what, but sure, okay." So you wouldn't happen to know that already, would you?
She's just making that. Okay. She's just been sitting there with that look and just the hand gesture of, if you want an answer, you have to stop talking.
I'm a bard. We never stop. But yes, I'm stopping. Now is
Yeah.
the stopping.
If you want to get it out of your system, I can go finish my breakfast.
Sorry.
Yes, I've heard of Lormotes. And if you really think that they keep other adventurers out, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, yeah, other bards are technically an audience, but it's not an audience, and besides, other adventurer types notice stuff that you might not. So, if this one, looking at Clarity, I gotta say, you have got the best taste. You get to town, and within 24 hours, you're in tight with the most sought after woman in the city.
Damn it, Andre!
Just eating bacon and turning pink.
Which is a feat given her skin color.
It's more the ears, like tinges.
If you know clarity, you know what to look for.
Well, just saying. Hey, it's a what are you so grumpy about? Looking over it. Oh, did you? It looks at Clarity. Sisters, huh?
Silent image. Lots of floating pink hearts.
Help! I have no physical balance right now. If I let go, I fall.
I think
Bye.
It's only 1d6. Take the damage.
Land on your head, you won't notice. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. You can strangle me later.
if you're ever on the same continent, well, if you're ever on the same side of the continent, yeah, sure, whatever. You could sort of wave at each other as Smeagol's plane goes over when he goes back to college. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, Maeva clearly sees that she's, and you're adorable. This town's not gonna know I did it. Unless you got
need to be.
Hey, hey, lean into it. Embrace it. Heard something from some of the dock workers about the Rose and Bower asking about you.
Whoa!
A tiefling matching your description anyway.
Funny thing, I've never even set foot in there.
No, but apparently they heard around that you've got the touch in many senses of the word. I don't know.
Oh, that came back around.
Dock workers
That was
talk.
me. There's a bit of trolling that I think is going to come and make trouble for me.
Probably, yeah. But unless you guys got any more questions, I got my breakfast to see to. Because, obviously I can't eat at home.
Sorry again!
It's fine, it's fine. Edvard can't cook for shit anyway. We haven't had anyone decent cooking in that place since Lyra left. Have fun! Just sits down to her breakfast again.
So then I guess we're going to the thing.
Time to go!
Well,
Yep.
not yet. Not yet. I'm still working on my second cup. Nope. No, I'm not going anywhere yet.
Yeah. It's entirely possible that your best course of action would be to wend your way a bit slowly to the library for the late morning, because if Andree's tapped into the gossip network at all, she'll know that you guys are probably going to be a little later than after normal breakfast time.
Slowly is good.
And, go your relative separate ways for your relative separate errands in the same very large building.
On the way to the library, can I be on the lookout for any like vendor selling crossbow bolts? Because I went through quite a few of those and I need a refill.
You couldn't do that after the...
Could also. I'll be looking just to see if there's a vendor doing that, so I can come back later.
It's
Oh.
you'll be cutting through the go back to the city map here. Where are you guys? Because I've got a whole lot of saved maps. Yeah, I mean basically this big building here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the library.
Okay.
And that's sort of the rest of that one here is the rest of University campus.
Nice. I love the layout. This is really well done, by the way. I know I've said that before, but it really is.
It's like I say, I refreshed a lot of random city generator until I found one that would suit my purposes and then marked up the districts accordingly. But I mean, at the moment, you guys are here. And you're going to have to cut right through the main market there to get to the library.
Speaking
So-
of which, what's a Rosenbauer?
I'm letting you guys deal with that in character.
He said in character.
Oh,
Yeah, if you're
boy.
gonna say in character things, can you wait until I'm finished explaining an out of character bit before launching into it? Because it gets confusing.
Sorry.
Anyway, we'll deal with finishing breakfast, and then we'll deal with whatever shopping you want to do with clarity before. Because what I'm leading up to is so that Clarity doesn't get entwined in a bit of adventure that she in character might feel bad about not accompanying you guys on. I'm trying to do the have your I'm looking for a word and I can't find it, but your slow amble and your shopping and your goodbye gifts or whatever else you're doing on the way to the library and go from there, because you're probably going to have to do some rearrangements of living accommodations, but that's not something I want to necessarily handle in game, because it's that kind of nitty gritty is kind of dull. I have plans. go with me on this. So, anyway, yes, you're in the process of finishing up breakfast, and Naya has just asked, what's a Rosenbauer?
Oh, um, it's a house of bodily pleasures.
People of negotiable virtue.
Well, depends on what you call virtue.
I
Or
am
who.
now slowly turning colors to be a
And
very skin tone.
Maeva, who's apparently eavesdropping, they have sex for money! Because the tiefling had to say.
Well, if you find something you're good at, do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Is that your approach to it, Bardman? Because I heard you're damn good.
Turning multiple. I am like slowly but surely blending into my shirt.
So Naya's reaction to all this.
I've just managed to imitate Clary's skin tone at this point.
This breaks. Shall we add it to the list of town attractions to to swing by on the way out, as it were?
Really?
I was the one that asked. I figured, why ask if you're not curious about going? So what?
I think I've lost my curiosity.
Yeah, Maeva is almost falling out of her chair laughing at you guys.
See, I'm not the only entertaining one. Thank you. We'll be here all week.
You don't even have wristwatches, you doofus.
Oh.
It's 2 hairs past a freckle.
Yeah.
It's just a sundial strapped to his arm.
I haven't seen that much.
Actually, they sell wristwatches here. They're large, clunky things, and they're more like fancy jewelry than anything else. But they import them from Agref, who can apparently actually make gears that small.
Neat.
It's a tricky thing to make gears that small in this kind
At
of...
least they don't depend.
Go ahead.
At least they don't depend on hourglasses.
Yes. And anything else that wanted to be discussed during breakfast? I'm taking that as a no.
Don't believe so.
Is there anything that Clarity is going to want to sort out while they know they're all in one place for an extended period of time?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So, it's a bit uncomfortable talking about it, but going to have to. So I have a bag of holding, well, one of them, and I've made a list of all the things that I know are in it. Nora had kept good notes on it also, so this includes stuff that she had put in there. And so I don't know who you want to take care of this while I'm here. But it's got party funds, and I'm including my deck of illusions and magic darts, since I won't really have much use for them here. There's some of our loot. There's a couple vases, jewelry, that sort of thing. Anyone want the responsibility?
Remy?
Safest
As
place
everyone
to
looks
throw
at the
Seth.
paladin.
Safest place
Everybody
to
look-
throw Seth.
Oh, yes, Froseth.
Yeah,
Process?
process.
And Remy goes, hey, I don't have to deal with it. Look, which one of us is liable to get into the most trouble unintentionally? Aside from Hazel.
Well, Hazel already has one.
Yeah, and we don't want them together on the same person. So out of everybody that's left, the one of us who's liable to get into trouble unintentionally the most is, well, me. So that rules me out.
On the other hand, you do also have Remy, who has come very close to picking yet another scheduled bar fight.
At least it's on a schedule.
Yeah, and the last time she scheduled a bar fight, Flitty nearly died.
Died.
Well, Flitty
She
literally
wasn't
died.
Planning for poison.
Died.
Yeah, that's the problem. Remy doesn't plan for things.
She planned for a bar fight.
Remy plans to a point, but she's not very good at thinking outside the box. And the box is hit it until it's dead.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
Play to your strengths.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
What's? Oh God.
I see
guess
you
it's me?
grinning there,
Oh.
you goober.
Anyway.
Who, me? I was just trying to remember the reference I was trying to come up with.
No, the other goober, the one who's currently silver scaled and tall.
Yes, well, it's one of those laugh or you cry situations because all of a sudden everybody's chucking responsibility at him. At which point he's realizing the bard is our leader and I'm the common sense. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Rosette, how are you at numbers?
I
Want to be
guess.
treasurer?
I guess good enough.
Right. Seems you've been elected.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's probably got the highest wisdom score outside of Hazel. Believe it or not.
Wait, who has the highest wisdom?
Hazel!
Seth. Oh, Hazel does, yeah.
I'm the cleric. I better.
Well, that's the thing. High whiz, low int. This makes for learn from my mistakes, but make an awful lot of them.
Can't be a good example, be a painful warning.
Okay, so Furseth now has the bag of holding.
Yes, and this morning I put on my regular boots instead of my elven boots. I also have these boots, the boots of elven kind. They make you stealthier, make you your footsteps harder to hear. I don't need them quite so much anymore, and I'm already pretty stealthy as it is, but I know Hazel has special shoes, and Froseth, even though you probably couldn't wear them, also has special shoes, so I don't know if somebody would like special shoes, might be...
They don't really go well with plate armor greaves.
Yeah, we discussed this before.
Yeah, but we discussed it when Nora was with us. We didn't discuss it when Remy was with us. I'm saying that for noms.
I mean,
I figured that.
I'm looking over at the bard.
yeah, okay.
On the other hand, I hate doing this to you again, but make me a perception check, Nye.
Okay. Give me
Poor dude used whiz as his dump stat.
Hmm.
And it's kinda unfortunate as dump stats go.
perception.
What?
Oh, hey, there you go.
19.
19, yeah.
Yeah, the pattern on them is vaguely familiar. It's not quite what they'd have worn at home, but come on, they are boots of elven kind. They look not quite like home, but might have been a clan that you traded with at one point or something like that. So it's something you've seen before.
I mean,
Hey, let me see those real quick.
Oh, sure.
Where did these come from?
Mira.
Yes. Mira gave them to us. You haven't met her
oh,
and won't.
yeah.
But as yes, they were kind of a gift.
Yeah, from you'll meet Evan when we return to Goldendale. He was her son. Well, is her son. It was her. Sorry. Sorry, don't mind me.
I've seen something like this before. The stitching pattern.
Well, they are elven, so but if you like them and you think you would have use of them, they can be yours.
I'd
Basically,
like that,
they give you advantage on stealth checks.
The particular prop I just picked up is ironic there.
It's mostly to do with sound rather than sight, but yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Why are you an idiot now?
I think this is work thing. If you're doing work stuff, you might want to mute.
And also, I have the other sending stone. Froseth has one, and I have one. And I think they have a range, so I don't think that you would be able to talk to me through them. I don't know who you could pass it around as you need to. Maybe Hazel, you could hold on to it for right now.
I am grabbing the stone.
No giving that to Ollie or Ellie.
No, that needs to stay in party. But if you do get split up or something, it might be useful.
What does that do?
It casts sending just once per day, and so that way you can talk to each other.
Oh, yeah, Allie definitely does not need to get her hands on that.
No, it's not that kind of stone. I think that might be it. There's also the drift globe inside the bag of holding, but I don't know the activation word for it yet. So I will maybe leave a note or send a message or something when I figure it out.
Well, Hazel will know that Andri always sends letters home, so Clarity can just send letters with Andri's.
Well, Andri sends stuff, so if you're going to be sending stuff, send it with what she sends.
All right. Yes, and it's should be useful, especially for and she points to Remy and Darvin, the humans needing light and all that.
And Froseth, he doesn't have.
Oh, I didn't know. Dragonborn.
No, Dragonborn don't. It's
So
That's why Froseth was carrying the torch.
noted. So yes, 3 of you, and we'll need some sort of light source, and maybe lighting things on fire might not be the best in all situations.
Oh, come on. What doesn't lighting things on fire solve?
Fire.
And oh god, I can see crossing Hazel's face. Melinda Hearts flat
Hey,
and shop.
Oh,
when there used to be runaway fires, we would set another fire in their path, so there would be no fuel where the fire was going to. So fire can fight fire.
And Hazel has gone incredibly quiet. And her hair is doing the rage inflation. I may not actually recognize this as the universal symbol of "shut up right now," or you're going to find yourself with
hammer in the face.
hammer-induced dentistry. Yes.
I'm going on. Assuming. Wait, I think I'm sitting. Wait.
Low wisdom
We haven't
score,
decided.
remember?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, we
Mhm.
never did decide where. Okay, fine. I'm sitting next to Hazel. Just hand on shoulder. Not really holding her down, just like, I'm here. I know. I got it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I didn't make the connection quite so quick. I apologize. But yeah, I get it.
It's fine.
What? Huh?
He clearly has no. You rolled for that, didn't you?
You explain.
Remember, low wisdom
Yes,
score.
I know. I know.
There was a fire. There was family lost.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
You didn't know. It's fine. We'll just move on.
Speaking of, your breakfast is just about done, and Clarity has bequeathed all this stuff to you, and there's a market full of wonders between you and your inevitable parting.
What's this? What's this?
So, is anyone looking for anything in particular as you meander?
I'm looking for anything soft, fuzzy, and cute.
Well, the doll's house does have a smaller stall in the actual market because it makes sense to have spaces. You've got a couple of rock gnomes dealing with the small animated things. In this case, today's special is they're moths, you know, the really big fuzzy ones? These ones really are big and in, pretty bright pastel pinks, purples, blues, greens, and they fly.
I'm going to go to Clarity and I'm going to say, find something fuzzy and cute that you want, and that will be my gift.
All right.
It doesn't even have to be a bunny, because I got you bunny.
Is there anything blue?
There are a few different shades of they tend more towards the light and the pastel blue, but there's actually one. The darkest is, you know, that chest of drawers behind you right there.
Yeah.
The wings that color, the body is slightly lighter blue. Yeah, with the feathered frond like antennae, and as Clarity shows interest, it starts flying slow circles around her head before settling at the top of her braid, and it spreads its wings kind of like a bow, like Hazel's, a little smaller, obviously.
Okay, yeah. Clarity, sorry. I know I told you to pick something out, but it looks like you've been chosen. So, yeah. How much is this? Because this is wonderful.
15 silver.
Done and done.
Yeah, there's
Done
a
and
gold.
done.
So it took me a minute because that's 1 gold, 5 silver. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
And it sits and occasionally just flutters its wings. It's actually really soft. It's bunny fur soft.
Oh,
Now you have something both inspirational and pretty.
thank you. Gives him a hug.
Inspirational and pretty, like you.
Aw.
I will miss you.
I'll miss you too.
Anyone else? Hazel?
I am looking for anything selling crossbow bits.
Yeah, there's a few different stalls that sell varying different crossbow bits. You might want to do a bit more in the way of comparison shopping, because from the looks of it, some of them are um, a bit arcane. They've been artificed.
Oh boy, this one's glowing.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, that one's that one's a
Kind of
I-
dripping with magic.
well. This from the half elf at the stall. I was kind of trying to avoid the pun, but you know the guy who runs our shop is kind of big on them. It's a lightning bolt. It's
And even
not
that one's
my fault.
that one's
The
even got
face.
Darvin face palming.
There is an expression on my face that very few people have seen. If they've watched me do a guiding bolt and hit, they're aware of this expression.
I mean, we got fire and ice and various other bits and pieces.
How much are these versus normal ones?
You can generally get a bundle of like 50 for a gold of the normal one. These are special occasions, so you're looking at a gold each.
I need a bundle of the normal ones.
Okay.
And what do you got besides the Zappy and the Bernie?
We got ice. We got poison. We had acid, but we kind of ran out. Might have some psychic if you come back in the afternoon.
I'll do that.
Okay, gold for the 50.
Yep. Yay! There's just... The grid is there, and it's kind of manic looking.
So normal.
Yeah.
I'm looking for hairbrushes.
There's a few stalls down from the offshoot of the doll's house. There is there's a whole display of they've got little compact mirrors and hairbrushes and combs and hair ribbons. These weird clippy things that seem to work for hair too. Yes, they've got barrettes.
Do you have hairbrushes that are good for detangling?
Yeah, we got quite the business. What kind of detangle needs have you got?
I'm doing this while Hazel's distracted by the crossbow
bolts, yeah.
bolts. You see her there with the green ribbon.
Oh, so that's challenge rating 3. Okay.
They ranked them. I love it.
Okay, we've got it.
There should be a manual for that sort of thing.
It actually hands over a small parchment pamphlet. We do.
Oh.
Okay, we've got a bit of a selection for this kind of thing. You've got the plain simple detangling, which is nice, is good. We've got some that are a bit more portable and actually comes out with one of the compact mirrors that she unhooks, and it's a mirror on one side and the brush on the other. We've also got both the compact and the plain brushes that perfume your hair a bit. We've mostly got we've got cinnamon spice, we've got lily of the valley, we've got lavender, and we've got sort of forest green.
Hmm. Um, do the one with the cinnamon.
Yeah. Compact or plain brush?
Mm, you mean it comes with the mirror, or is compact meaning small?
It comes with the mirror.
Oh.
It's about hand sized,
Mm-hmm.
but it basically unfolds. So you've got a mirror, and then you've got the brush.
I'll do the compact one then.
Okay, those ones with the scent is 2 gold.
Okay, and how much for the barrettes? Green if you have it.
That would be 5 silvers for pack of 10.
Okay, I will take a pack and the brush.
And there's a selection of colors, so if you want to do green for the brush as well, you very much can. Looks at the person you've just been pointed at and holds up a hand, and rather quick and clever fingers on this particular, looks like a full elf, but keeping it really low key. Wraps it up in this wrapping paper that's pale green with this dark green sort of leaf pattern on it. Green bow looking a lot like Hazel's.
Oh.
Thank you. And here you go.
Thank you for your custom. And by this point,
so
Hazel has finished up. She's got her crossbow bolts, and there's that grin.
Um, out of curiosity, I'm gonna. Well, actually, no. Never mind. I don't need to. I take that back. I had a thought, but no. That's no need. I'm good. Remy, did you want to? Remy, Nye, Roseth, did any of you want to get something?
I'm looking around, but
Or-
way out of my depth here.
Reasons? So not subtle.
Yes, I see that, Garden.
Just so not subtle.
Oh boy.
Someone with that high charisma score, he really ain't subtle.
You don't have to be subtle, charismatic.
Hey, Hazel. Come over here a second.
Yeah?
Let's all behind these people here. So I got you something. It's here you go. Just hands her the package.
Oh my god, this is almost too pretty to open. Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to open it right away, I can tell you what's in it.
I'm turning colors.
Well, I won't be around to take care of your hair when shenanigans happen, as they inevitably will. And I want you to know how much I care about you and will be thinking of you. And I hope you can work on it yourself while I'm gone. They're brushes. It's a brush and some accessories.
I am squeeing. I've briefly gone hypersonic,
You
My
guys have
ears
to
have popped, and I've turned around.
and I have latched onto clarity with the hug to end all hugs.
I hate to do it in such a moment, but strength check from clarity. Strength save, sorry, from clarity.
All right.
No.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Best. That 20
Clarity
today.
saw
So
it.
19.
Clarity saw it coming and managed to brace herself just right to be able to return the hug to end all hugs without both of them collapsing into the nearest stall.
Lifting
I-
with my legs. Lifting with my legs. Good base.
I heard the hypersonic start, turned around just in time to see Hazel go, and I was like, "Oh, she's got it." All right.
Thank you, 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 thank you.
You're welcome. I'll miss you.
Yeah. But things will things good stuff. We'll make this good somehow. And in the
Silent image.
more awful.
In character, yes.
And the package goes into the bag of holding very carefully.
Come on, let's catch up.
Yeah, yep. I think I startled Darwin. I mean, look at him. He's he's being Darwin.
Yeah.
I have the concerned dad look on my face. Still not used to.
Yeah, Remy knows that look quite well.
I'm-
Okay, last call. Anybody else want to look for anything?
Do we by any chance see any place doing the handing out of holy symbols of various varieties?
Yeah, I mean you're starting to approach the temple lock, so you do start getting the jewelry that's more symbols. You actually see the one that you picked up, Skylar's pendant to Bahamut.
I am going to look for one of those.
I thought we already got one.
We did.
We did.
I am looking for an entire set, if possible.
You're gonna have to use a few more.
Each god.
There
There's a lot.
That's a lot of
there
gods.
there are a lot of gods, and the question that you get from a rather elderly looking elf is, do you want the more common ones or something a little more outre? Well, let me show you what we have, what I was thinking, because from the sounds of it, you're looking for someone who's a little less in the way of who's a little less given to specific faith. I'm assuming that Hazel's doing this while Clarity is distracted with the others.
Mm-hmm.
That you're looking at someone who's less invested in a specific faith, but that you want to have watched over in just in a general way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, in which case, what you'll probably want is something a bit like this. And he pulls out a drawer from under his stall, and inside there's a series of charm bracelets. And on them, there's very small, you know those discs that are on the walls at your home shrine in Goldendale? Like that, but with the various symbols. That's actually a couple of more than you've seen, because Baron Zvir's worship is a little bit more limited, I suppose, than you will apparently find outside. There's something that looks like a breaking ocean wave, and there's obviously a Bahamut. There's a couple of others that you'd probably actually need to do research on, because you don't have that much time to get a full theology lesson.
I'm wandering over and looking over, I guess, over the shoulder here. Huh. I wonder if they could make something a little like a little metal cupcake pin.
And this elf looks at you. I'm sorry, I do not know a god of cupcakes. This is not for that kind of custom jewelry, sir. Is there a god of cupcakes? In your experience?
Given where I had dinner a bit ago, there is definitely a goddess of cupcakes.
Wonderful. We don't have adventurers, we have cupcake cultists. Could I have some serious customer, please? And he's clearly, weirdly enough, for the first time, Hazel's not the one who's been dismissed as a country bumpkin. She's being treated like just another city dweller, whereas Nye is just, what, did you walk out of the forest 10 minutes ago? What is wrong with you? And it just turns back. This elf, this full-blood elf, turns his back on another full-blood elf in favor of the half-elf.
They just boggled for a minute there. That looks perfect.
Is there a particular metal you're interested in? I mean, gold is nice, but not overly long-wearing. We do have some gilded steel, which is less expensive and sturdier, but still keeps the same look. Better for adventurers and people who are using their hands a great deal.
Yeah, that one, the adventurer one.
We've also got copper, if that helps. The copper is 5. The gilded steel, the copper is 5 gold. The gilded steel is 7 gold.
7 gold.
And shoves this. It's a deep, almost reddish gold, so it will actually match quite well with the Clarity's skin, and yeah, the bits of the various religious symbols that come in silver and other colors, they've been arranged so that they stand out properly. And it puts it in a nice little box. Would you care to have this wrapped? Any particular paper you had in mind, or should I use my initiative?
That.
Thinks about it for a minute, and actually just waves his hands, and it's kind of a prestidigitation kind of thing, and you wind up with... There was a shop about 3 blocks back that did really fancy bookmarks, and there was this really nice sort of amber and blue pattern on one of them, and that's the paper with a pretty blue and amber bow sort of tied off in one corner.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Wait, bookmarks? I'm going to go investigate this.
And he runs back 3 blocks.
Meanwhile, I have done a 180 and zoomed over to Clarity, and just holding out the box.
Oh, that's so pretty.
I had to here.
Okay. May I open it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Who are all these?
Well,
As many gods as there are, and several I didn't know.
Oh, it's lovely.
You do recognize a couple. You recognize you recognize Remy's Tritherian. You recognize one that Darvin once pointed out to you as Broncala. Obviously, you recognize Palor. A couple of others you vaguely remember seeing at the shrine before the little dragons took up all your attention. There's one you remember from Hazel shopping for the pendant for Skylar that's Bahamut.
Oh. Well, this covers everyone now, doesn't it?
That way, they're all watching.
Help me put it on?
There is so much squeak. Like, thankfully not. I'm not hypersonic yet.
Yet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you guys have just noticed Nye just backtrack with no explanation whatsoever
Wait, what?
because.
Did we just lose an elf?
I think we just. Oh no, we lost the elf.
Okay, so.
Well, I mean, we didn't. He went that away. But I mean, I don't. What happened? What was that? You said that you saw the thing and.
And then just zoom.
What is Nye
He
doing?
pulled a me. I'm the only one allowed to pull a me.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't wander off in the crowded city that none of you are native to.
Hey!
What is Nye doing now that he has set himself up for getting fucking lost?
Hazel, are you
Attempting
sure
to-
you and I aren't related?
Someone mentioned bookmarks. He realized bookmarks. So he's gone to look for bookmarks.
Yeah, he does remember, and yeah, passing. He actually has to go past the place with the living plush moths, but he does find bookmarks of all shapes and sizes. There's paper and various, those thin metal ones with the little sort of charms on the end and that kind of thing.
Looking around for anything anything with a cupcake charm or.
It takes some digging, but you do find one that was meant. You do find a section that was meant for cookbooks, and yeah, there's one with this cupcake, blue sort of paper around the outside bottom bit, pink icing, little cherry on top. And the chain is linked through the cherry, and it's actually predominantly the chain that's the bookmark. You can kind of hook it to a book so that it doesn't get lost. Yeah,
Okay.
Amazing.
that one will run you 5 silver.
Done and done.
Okay. Now roll me survival to find the rest of the group again.
I'm not going to try to find them. I'm just going to stand out on the street and be visible. However,
I mean, I'm assuming that. I mean, I know I'm heading in the direction that
survival,
ran off.
survival.
Oh boy!
This one,
Not one.
Boy.
this one manages to find himself in a sort of a side section that looks like looks kind of like seedy cafes, but there's a certain kind of pungent herbal-ish kind of smell that Nye can't quite identify, and there's some women with not a terrible lot in the way of clothing who seem terribly friendly, and he's basically walked into the it's not quite the red light district, but it's the kind of opium den kind of spot out behind some of the taverns.
It's like 42nd Street in the afternoon as opposed to 42nd Street in the evening.
You guys, okay, the rest of you roll me perception.
It's not quite the corner of nudes, and tits, but
No.
Oh, boy.
I see nothing.
God.
18.
7.
Yeah.
Hang on, perception.
Surprisingly enough, it's probably Remy just doesn't want to think of the sheltered forest dude
6.
walking down that alley. So she blanks on that completely. Froseth and Hazel do manage to spot him. They don't know quite what that alley is, but they do notice that the only people heading in that general direction are Nye a lot less kind of furtively than some of the other ones, and the Froseth's been on the road a while. He knows what that unsavory element looks like, kind of.
So I know they went, but I
He,
don't. Where? Huh?
he'll head over towards that alley. 9.
Yeah, currently with a 6.5 foot tall dragonborn standing waving nigh over the. At first, I've noticed the people who'd kind of thought they'd got themselves something of a mark kind of back off. Nye notices none of this. He was just like, the women were terribly friendly, and I don't know what that smell is. And if these guys are following, Remy in particular knows what that smell is.
I don't know what I found, but let's leave.
Yeah, I don't really know what this is either, but it... What the heck is that?
It was a point from somewhere in a window, because Hazel never troubles herself to lower her voice. It's two voices. One is just weed. It's not fucking weed, you piece of shit stoner!
And I've just turned around, looked straight at Remy. Explain, please!
Oh boy.
Is this the negotiable affection you were telling me about?
Negotiable virtue, not affection. There's a
Oh,
difference.
it's negotiable, and people have an affection for it. But
Okay, that's fair.
I'm seeing a lot of negotiation going on around here, and
Welcome to the city.
yeah,
strange.
Not what you really
Darvin,
wanna
who's Star
get
Coast's,
into.
Star Coast's alley like that was like a building where you could basically go buy yourself a nug and that was it. This is like a whole alley of various different kinds of chemical weird.
Oh, God.
I need more caffeine to deal with this.
This is basically the this is where you buy drugs section of town.
Can we go now?
It's surprisingly well
yes,
regulated,
let's
though.
go.
Okay, so after your brief encounter with 420 East Main, revenge.
And Nye finds this the perfect time as we're exiting the alley to mention, oh, by the way, Clarity, I got you something too.
Oh, God, no.
What is it?
Not from down there, not from down there.
Did they give it to you, or it's come in a bag?
It was
Small
where
bag?
it was before I went down that way.
Oh, right.
Oh, thank Paylor.
Okay, I'm okay. I love the low wisdom score. It's great. Anyway, carry on.
And I hand over the little package with the bookmark inside.
Oh, this will be really useful. And
I absolutely could not think of what to get you, and then the wrapping on that reminded me of the store full of bookmarks, and I thought, bookmark, library, perfect.
it's like you know me. And I give him a hug. I know we met like just the other day, but you coming into my life, it's really changed things. And, I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope we all find what we're looking for. Thank you.
So Hazel's gift actually gave Froseth an idea.
Hopefully not as catastrophic as that last misadventure.
No, basically anywhere nearby that he'd be able to just get like an empty glass vial.
Given where you've just come out of, there is actually a good there's actually a good supply of apothecary kinds of supplies that you can just buy nearby to 420 East Main. Yeah, I'm not letting that one go.
Yeah.
It's not
I
even
noticed.
it's not even a bit of slang here, but I'm keeping it.
I noticed.
Okay.
I
Yes.
adore
But
you.
yes.
So,
you
yeah,
can-
Basically, he's gonna get a small, like not super small, but a smallish vial. And
Sort of that size.
yeah, that works. And basically use his elemental affinity, get some rock dust, do some fire, put some ash in there, fill it with water, and have some room for air to before like closing it off.
Yeah, and the vial's not going to be a big deal. That'll run you 5 coppers.
Okay. And then he presents it to Clarity. It's like, it's for you. May the elements guide your studies and
Oh,
protect.
Rosette. Thank you.
I'm going to assume, and I'm going to rule of cool this, because of elemental affinity, this has not turned to mud. But it's actually
Yeah, chances are it would.
it's like the layered drinks that you guys had in one of the first things when you came in, the one that warmed you up after the ocean hag thing. So you've got this layer of what, given first, it looks like farm earth, and then bits of ash where you can just about see maybe a little bit of still smoldering in there, and up above it, as if to keep everything from burning out, you've got a layer of water, and then the bit in the top that's clearly air, and because of the interaction, very faint interaction of the rest of the elements, that little bit of air in the top milliliter or so, it actually looks like it might be moving a little bit.
Wow.
Happy he infused it.
That is amazing.
That is incredible.
And all I got was a flying moth.
No, it's
Y'all are showing me up. I
give
kid,
another
I kid.
clue.
None of my gifts are that.
And I have to reach up because I'm kind of short.
Hey, he's used to hugging people shorter than him. I mean, Skylar, hi.
This is adorable.
You you provide a little bit of sanity to them, please. Keep doing what you do.
Please
I'll do
keep
my
doing
best.
what you do. Please keep doing what you do.
I know they'll be in good hands with you.
How the hell did I become responsible? Oh, was that out loud? Shit.
At which point, Darvin feels a weight on the back of his head, and clitter, and then Flitty looks upside down. It's because the first paladin lady and the Nora lady left a bit of her with you. Butts him in the forehead. Also, hello, I'm feeling better to fly a little bit. Because I
Liddy, I'm
wanted,
glad you're doing better.
because I wanted to say goodbye to the Clarity lady.
Yeah.
This is in Sylvan, so you get Flitty sort of looking
Flitty,
at the moth, and
Yeah.
can you ask her to hold out her hands, please?
Clarity, Flitty was asking if you could hold out your hands.
Oh,
And Flitty lands, and then could you get her to bring a little bit close, please?
A little closer?
Reaches out neck and boops nose, licks nose a little bit, and then shoves the moth over just enough to be able to be on the top of her head and sort of hug her with the wings.
My God.
Aw.
I'm
Flitty
glad
wanted-
you're okay.
Flitty is feeling well enough to fly, and Flitty said that Flitty wanted to say goodbye. Specifically flew out here to say goodbye. So,
Goodbye. When you visit, I'll have cookies for you.
But
that was met with much approval.
and nuzzles the horns a little bit, and then goes and stays on top of Versa's head, breathing a little bit heavily. The exhaustion from a res is usually a bit longer than I've let you guys suffer it so far. I think I'm gonna stay here for a little while.
Yeah, we're not planning on doing anything strenuous, so you should be fine.
Okay, does that mean I get to hear you sing?
Yes, actually.
And,
Quite possibly.
and settles down on Froth's head, winding tail around some of the sort of frond bits in the back of his head, just for balance. And failing anything else, you guys finally amble up to the library doors. Andrea is sitting on the steps, wearing a nicer dress than she was wearing last time, actually. Then stands up when you guys approach. I thought you might be a little bit later than I or would have expected. I hear there was mass celebrating, but I thought you would all be coming because when I first arrived, I heard about the lore moot. I am so glad you have your own room. No offense, I'd love to hear it, but if doing a tour and study and everything, it gets kind of loud, and you know what some of the staff here are like.
Mm-hmm.
Should I sort of stand by the door for a couple of minutes and let you handle things? Because it's going to be a bit of a rest of the day. Because I managed to get the Arcanist we'll be working for to stick around after lunch. So we'll get a tour of the actual house. And so I'm sorry to have monopolized your day, but...
It's fine. It's fine.
But I'll be by the doors. And then
Right.
gives Hazel a hug. I have a feeling that the next stage of your adventure probably awaits. I'm sorry to apparently steal away your friend, but I promise I'll take good care of her.
That's all we ask.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Silent smirking.
I'll let you have that to amuse you the rest of the time. But you all have to promise to take good care of my Hazel. She is aggravating sometimes, and sometimes I've just wanted to tie knots in her hair so that she'll actually spend the next year untangling them and not get into any trouble. But I love her. She is my sister, and please keep her alive.
She's aggravating. She's aggravating. She doesn't think as she doesn't have the best course of actions, and she's a pain in the ass sometimes. But she's ours, and we wouldn't have her any other way.
And leans over to Darvin, a little kiss on the cheek. Thank you, that means a lot. I'll leave you guys to it for a couple of minutes. And leaves you.
This is happening so fast. I'm sorry I won't be able to see you go through all the amazing things that you're about to embark on, but I'll write, and I hope you write also. Be here. And I wanted all of you to know just how much your friendship has meant to me. Before I met you crazy lot, I could count my friends on one finger, and now I need considerably more. And it's been life-changing. It really has. And it occurs to me that I don't think I've ever told you all my given name. And Henry doesn't know it, or doesn't know Clarity. He knows me as my other name. So if you see him before I do, if you find him, tell him that Prien is looking for him, and that I've never stopped. And you all take care of yourselves, all right? Make sure you don't have to use those necklaces. Make sure you come back. And I know it's a big task, but kick some dragon ass for me.
You got it.
That much we can do.
All right. Might give each of them a hug in turn. I'll miss you guys. I wish you the best of luck for all that comes.
I think you might be muted, Smeagol.
We'll miss you too. You do you.
We'll be back. We'll be back with stories and songs and family.
Hmm.
Thank you.
And we won't stop looking either.
Yeah.
I made you that promise some time ago, and it still holds true every bit today as it did then.
It means a lot to me.
I know.
I look forward to the stories. I do, and I know you'll tell them with great flair.
I don't do anything without it.
Always the brightest thing in the room.
Yeah, because everything keeps dodging out of my fairy fire. I keep trying to make myself not quite the brightest thing in the room, and stuff keeps dodging out of the way. Dang it!
You'll get them one day.
Well, I did get that one thing. What's that one time? There's always that one time. Here's to a whole lot more one times.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Yeah, you'll do good work.
Have a great time on the tour and keep having as good of a time as you can.
I'll have books.
Yep.
I'll be good.
Books and cats.
And cats. Don't forget
And
the
cats.
Books, cats, and if you guys remember from the previous evening, and Andrews, who's going to insist on showing her the restaurants and the dancing and making sure she gets breaks and
The best person taking care of you in all of existence.
Well, except us.
I was gonna say second best.
Yeah, well, you know. 1 out of 4 or 5 isn't bad. But yeah, by all means, keep riding home. Let us know how you're doing.
I will.
Otherwise, we'll have to. I can't believe I'm going to say this again. At least this time it's deliberate. We'll have to book it to the library and make sure you're okay.
yeah, she missed that one the first time. Always leave them laughing, apparently.
No, you have it
The
upside
one.
down.
Yeah.
You have to turn it over.
There you go.
I'm doing it to myself.
You can flip side an image like that.
They're movable. It helps.
Mm.
All right.
All right.
You knock those socks off in there, and
Not literally. We're going to walk a lot.
enough with the puns. All right.
So then, tour for you, moot for us.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Good luck to you guys.
And,
I sort of edge towards Andre.
and with that, Andre waves to you all and doesn't quite put an arm around Clarity, but does the sort of guiding hand motion to show you guys as much of as her that she's she's there to support Clarity and brings her into the library and the next phase of her own personal adventure. And that is where we're going to have our break. I didn't want to rush it because this is a big kind of deal. I just want to say that we've lost a couple of players over the year and a half or so that we've done, and some have made a bigger mark than others, and some have been easier to replace than others. But while nobody can actually be, no individual character can ever actually be replaced, they can be compensated for. I don't think anybody will be able to fill the unique and beautiful role that you did with Clarity. And from the DM's, the multiple gods of this little world's perspective, I just want to say that you will be missed, and if we can ever arrange it so that they happen to be in Belarys at the same time as you can spare a Sunday, maybe you can guest star, and there's always going to be a spot for you if you ever have time. We will always welcome you back with open arms. You have been a delight, and I just want to thank you for the last year and a half.
Thank you guys. This has been basically my first big experience with D&D, and so it's been a lot of fun, and it's really sort of opened the door for me. So it's been a whole lot of fun, and I'll miss you guys. And when baby allows, I will try.
And just always let me know, and I'll if you give us some lead time, I can skirt the story to make sure that you can just come in for a session anytime we can arrange it.
Okay.
But for now, we're gonna move on to break, and so that Clarity doesn't have to worry about what these guys are going to get themselves into next, we'll leave it there. But do keep in touch, because I like to think that we're friends for more reasons than just a game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'll be on Tumblr and still on Skype, and so just send me a line whenever you want to say hi, and I'll say hi sometimes too.
And we will see you when we see you, Lindira, and the rest of you. We will be back in 5-ish minutes. I may need a moment to compose myself. This is kind of sad.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Cheers.
We'll see you in a bit. And we're back. The Cupcake Coterie have seen Clarity off to the next phase of her personal adventure and are approaching their own. They are looking at the doors of a massive library and need to now find the Lormoot.
At which point, I will walk into the library. Even though we were in a bit of a hurry, I do remember the entryway having the desk up front. So
Yep.
I will walk in, assuming that I see said desk.
The front desk is now manned by 3 different people. Obviously, at night they can have a skeleton staff. Now there is 1 human, 1 half elf, and a halfling. They're all kind of busy because they're speaking to various what are apparently students, but you know how it is. If Darvin kind of nudges his way up to the counter, he will eventually. Is there anyone in particular whose attention anyone is trying to get?
Just waiting for a lull in one of them to see which one I can just be like, Lormoot.
Yeah, the half elf kind of stops after checking out a stack of books about the approximate size of Evan and handing them to this. This is an individual that most of you will not have seen race-wise before. He's very tall, and his face is this kind of. There's almost a bovine aspect to it. Long, floppy kind of ears, dark, slightly furry skin, very dark hair. Nye actually has seen these before. Again, it's a vague memory. These were apparently common where he came from.
Trying not to stare, but at the same time, I'm glance.
And
Eyebrows slightly cocked, just.
he looks over at you. You are from. Speak to me.
Baron's
Yes, I had a feeling it was someplace provincial. I am.
a bit.
I
yes.
am Fearbulk.
I apologize. I was trying desperately not to stare.
You will see types of people that you will never have seen in Baronsvere. Baronsvere has always been a curious place, very sheltered.
In some ways, yes.
But I hear nice things about the more agrarian of the baronies, Goldendale.
Yes, actually. On the nose. Well done.
I had thought
Beaming with pride right now.
I had thought to visit. It is unfortunately a harder trip these days.
Yeah.
Uh,
Slightly.
But if you like, Turner will see to you, and walks off, handling this Evans-sized stack of books with absolute ease. And
Wow.
the half elf Turner apparently is.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna be there for the Lormoot, aren't ya?
Is it that? I look down at that obvious, huh?
Points at the viol on your back.
Oh, right.
The word "doi" comes to mind.
It's
Right.
been an interesting morning. I'm still not quite fully recovered from last night.
Oh, that was you. Right. Okay. You're gonna want to go to your immediate right. Third door on the left. Give a bop 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 on the door, and it'll open to what you're after.
All right. Immediate right, third door on the left. Got it. Follow me. I actually know where we're going for once.
on the wing.
So, immediate right, and third door on the left. So, I go.
Yeah, this one
Immediate right.
this one's a rather larger door than the one that went to the not it's an average sized door. Remember, the one that went into the section on planar travel was quite small to
Oh,
fit
okay.
into the bookshelves. It's still kind of narrow, but it's tall enough to fit the average human. So somebody like the Fearbulk that you just met would probably have to stoop a little, and first would have to duck his head slightly, but it's not like having to really crouch the way he had to last night. I think that's the fan.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
behind.
Is that better?
That's fine.
Yeah. And it's only when it's pointing in a certain direction. It's all right. Anyway, yes, you have a door.
Yep. So I do the bop, bat that that bat that.
And the door opens, and inside there's a good dozen people, a variety of races, and they're actually already in the middle of performance
Ooh.
at the moment. Currently, what you've got is halfling, kind of scruffy, off brown hair. This coat that it clearly was embroidered at some cost. The base is a bright purple, but there's these silver and pink and blue patterns all woven into this massive cloak-like coat. He is singing about an excursion north that he embarked on a few months ago to engage himself with what appears to be some kind of hunt mercenary-ish kind of a deal called the Brass Arrows. He was apparently supposed to be slaying an Ankeg. That was the mission. He was supposed to go into this tomb that some scholarly types wanted to go in, and he was supposed to slay an Ankeg. That was the mission. Unfortunately, the song doesn't actually deal with slaying the Ankeg at all. Because most of the song is bitching about this fucking two-headed snake in his way.
At which point, bing, perks up.
The tale largely treats on a absolute moron of a half orc barbarian who decided that this snake wasn't going to be too much of a problem. I will tie it in a knot, and he came very close to dying because two different lots of poison in the neck from two separate directions. The half-orc barbarian did just manage to survive. They cut the thing in half. And the whole thing ends on if you want the story of how I slayed this Ankeg, you're gonna have to turn up at my set at X place.
Mm-hmm.
Later. And it finishes up. There's been a whole refrain on where it's just sort of I will slay a damn Ankeg, traloo tralay throughout the whole bits and pieces. And that finishes, and there's a certain amount of applause. And what appears to be the case is that once you've sung your song about what's going on, about the thing, that's when questions start happening. So you've got this one half orc leaning back and going, "It's got two heads, one on either side. How does it shit? I don't know. I didn't use speak with animals to ask it, okay? I didn't really care. I just wanted it out of my way. I wasn't getting paid for two-headed snake." So if you have questions, now's the time.
Where north was this?
And now is when I actually have to pull up my bits of information about the game world. I was a bit more focused on Clarity's departure than doing my research. Yeah. Besides, I wasn't even sure I was gonna get that far because I didn't want to get into this part of it without Ben being here, and there there was a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, what was it, 30 miles off Alzor High, out in the province of Almaver. So top of ways, it's a lot of desert waste, ancient tombs. The governor runs this hunters guild called the
Hmm.
Brass Arrows. They do basically they set bounties on some of the nastier stuff so that scholarly types from out in like Eombach, Zlato, or here can actually go and do the study thing.
Gotcha.
I mean, why? What's it? You really don't look like the two-headed snake type.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Torin puts he's sidled up and puts a hand on your shoulder.
Hmm?
You understand that this is a place where you actually share information instead of giving smart-ass answers? And it's because everybody's giving him a bit of the side eye, so Torin just goes, really, really new. And the first one of us he met to talk to was Heseltine. Oh, the giving groan. Don't worry, I've been mitigating that influence. Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, really, really new, and yeah. They did get They did get the. Did they ever get? Wait. Hey Hazel, do you remember if they ever got the burn stain out of the rug?
Wasn't so much the rug as the floor.
Oh yeah.
Do I remember this? Because
You probably don't know. You were a
Oh,
little
well.
bit too focused on the fact that they destroyed. The Bard's Hof destroyed the tavern.
Yeah.
But
They
and
did.
you've got Zook the gnome going, but they did manage to stay open, right?
Oh yeah. No, they're
yeah,
still open.
still open.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
And they repaired the floor.
I ever meet him again, I'm kicking him in the balls.
I think he's at
There's
something over-
actually applause at that.
Yeah. Hazel, remember he actually got. Yeah. That's a rather sensitive subject now.
I know. That's why I'm kicking him there.
Ooh. Oh, are you sure you're a cleric of Palor? Ow.
Hey, as far as we can tell, Palor believes in justice almost as much as Tritherian and Bahamut do.
But anyway, yes, we have need of finding one of those. So if I figure if there's one there may be more.
Yeah. In which case, you missed the first part of my song. This from the Halfling. Main reason that I was going through for the Ankeg in the first place was because you can't get access to hunt in the tombs or anywhere in that province without being a member or a prospective member of the Brass Arrows. It's a way to keep poaching down because
Fair.
the governor likes to keep the things a bit in balance, but you know how it can be around tombs sometimes. They draw too much of the wrong stuff and things get out of whack, and she doesn't like that very much. So, if you want to go hunting for one of them, you're gonna have to at least put yourselves forward for the Brass Arrows, which means you're gonna have to go through the same kind of audition I did. I can't say for sure it's going to be an Ankeg you're going to be asked to go kill, but she's going to send you out and ask you to kill somewhere.
That's fair.
All right.
I mean, it's an audition. Gee, I've never had one of those before.
And everybody else in the room looks at you, not of any real import you haven't.
Well, no, but
So the snake, two heads,
Mm-hmm.
like one on each end, or like
That's
two,
what that's
or like
what
forked
that's
stick.
That's why Laura over here was asking how it shat.
One on either end.
Oh.
The cat dog snake.
Maybe out the middle.
I didn't look. I was too
Yeah,
busy. I was too busy chopping it into sashimi. Of course, none of you even heard. No, sorry, Remy's heard that word before. And yes, it is exactly what it is to us. The rest of you have got no idea what he just said.
Huh?
Okay.
What?
Raw, raw,
What?
raw fish. It's a delicacy. Try it sometime.
Blink, blink, blink.
Sodovos. I thought it was a snake, not a fish.
It's a metaphor, dumbass.
It was Sodo. He didn't hear that.
You have no idea how good some things hearing can be.
Mm-hmm. Um. Okay. And you said it had. Well, there were poison and.
There were two kinds of poison. One of them was really nasty. It was like, usually you feel better after a long rest.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Oh, damn! It lingered.
Healing potion wouldn't touch it. We came out and got a cleric. That didn't touch it.
What? Wow.
And
So it.
he
Wow.
finally shook it off and started healing up again. But as long as that's in your system, the damage that specific poison does isn't going to heal you. It is probably the nastiest, most insidious little poison you've ever seen in your life. And we try to keep that more or less under wraps for the greater community. Cause can you imagine what an assassin could do with that shit?
Yeah, that was my other thought. Just what if something other than this creature got a hold of something like that? Yee.
But it
Wow.
sounds like you're looking for something like that.
Yeah, because we actually do have need of. Not for. We're not poisoning anybody. It's we're. Oh hell.
At which point, Torin decides to help out, going, they're looking for the closest thing to a Tiamat Slayer you can get, and this whoa goes over
Yeah,
the room.
I was about to just pull out the viol and start going into it. Like,
Well, I've given you your intro.
yep. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just do this the quick and easy way, and I just pull out not quick, but I pull out the viol, and I start, and I am going to lay everything out. From the beginning. I'll with. I'll start. I'm going to start with basically the start. I'll start with Starcoast and a little bit of what happened there, but then I'll dovetail that into Remy in the Southlands, dealing with that down there, and sort of start with Starcoast and then let it go out from there and show that it covers a much wider area. And this is also kind of a cycle type of thing where this has been going on for a while, and then lead that up to. And Tiamat is involved, and
So you're basically using the blonde woman as your core,
yeah, basically.
as the hub of the wheel that you're creating
Right.
with the song.
Right. Exactly. So it's and so it goes around the whole area that it's covering, but then it also kind of spirals to show that it ties into the past and then loops back up into the present,
Yeah.
and the doom and gloom of Tiamat getting a hold of this stuff and using it to further her own ends, and that is where we're at right now. That we're going after that creature and some other things to put together the bits for, and that we are also looking for information on where might be good areas to obtain those bits. I know we have some, but if these guys can give us more, hey.
As you wind that up, it's less questions this time.
Mm-hmm.
Zook picks up with tales of ancient rumors of places to the east, far, far east of Cragfir, but still the underground, verging into the Underdark. Uh, Tales of dwarves who dug where they should not have dug. You see the downfall of the dark dwarves and the dark elves and the deep gnomes who were at one time peaceful and just like any other, just not liking the light all that much, and how they became something horrible, dovetailing into the same musical phrases that Darwin used to describe the people of Star Coast. Um, and an elven woman, uh, dark skin, dark hair. She starts singing and playing a small handheld harp. And oop,
Oop,
we lost a
we
Ben.
lost. Yeah.
Well, he can pick it up later. She starts in on the on beneath the roots of the elven wild and their own uh, communities of dark elves who became the drow, and how they had a goddess of fate and and patterns and weaving and design, and her name was Lolth, and she went into the darkness to see to her people, and she came back wrong. And thus did Loth become the chaos bringer of what was once a being of pure order. And it goes on down the line. Somebody actually picks up a more detailed description of some of Remy's battles in the Southern Lands. So some of her exploits, how she actually took a grievous wound trying to get a dry out of the field alive. So it's actually giving Remy her props for that, and how it was Remy and a dry who came very, very close to clubbing Carter upside the head and going, "We are leaving now!" Because they could see that all they would do was die or worse. Probably worse.
Hmm.
And this individual, this one's human, very dark skin, but that all that means is that you can see some of the horrible scars. They look like a combination of acid burns and like somebody, maybe himself, was trying to claw his own skin off. Um, Talks about how the people of the southern lands, their sun god had a different face, and that face became something carnivorous and all-consuming and eldritch and horrible, and now it wants to eat the suns. And yet has power over his followers. Some manage to get away and turn to the sun they knew, and that's when Hazel and Darwin in particular will notice the symbol of Palor around this guy's neck. But the rest fell and have turned against the sun that was once their font of worship. So they're not only clearly understanding what Darwin is saying, but they're adding more context throughout the bits of the world that they've seen.
And yeah, so we're expanding the area that all this is obviously affecting, and the overall effect,
and the time frame.
Right.
At which point there's another human, somewhat older, less flashily dressed than the others. Gentleman, sort of off pale kind of skin, hair starting to go gray, but was dark at one point. Starts singing the tale of good King Langerhan. Now, good King Langerhan was a good and just king of Baronsvere some 100 years ago. And one day, a shadow fell over the kingdom of Iron Crown. Well, the barony of Iron Crown. And on that day, good King Langerhan fell. The official story, apparently, is that he succumbed to some terrible illness, and thus rose King Jainarand the First. But in truth, no one noticed the serving girl, or so she appeared, who fled now Black Crown, carrying a baby, and establishing in a barony whose original baron stepped aside for Baron Langerhan of Goldendale. So apparently the Baron of Goldendale is descended from the rightful king of Baronsvere as a whole. It would appear that his mother dressed as a serving woman and got the last heir out. Still
What was the-
nobility, but
What was the name of the king that rose?
Jainarand the First, as opposed to Jainarand the Third.
Right.
I think he's had another internet hiccup. The human turns around and goes, "I thought that might interest you a bit. Your parents arrived a generation or so after that, didn't they?"
I am inflating this entire time. Like the full-on Studio Ghibli.
But not in rage, more in what?
Or in sheer gobsmacked panic.
Remy?
What?
Hazel?
Remy, this grass hazel shoulders keep her from squirming too much.
That's all I need. We're good.
From which side? Because depending on which, you might get a face full of just... Boom.
Apparently from behind if she's getting both shoulders, so...
Yeah, face full of foof.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair. So I am, and the woman sort of leans forward with her elbows propped up on her knees, just going. So I'm taking it you're trying to deal with this,
Yes.
and you're, from what I've been able to understand through various of the bits of gossip, you're in somewhat of a hurry.
Well, I mean, yes. The corruption is spreading. It's already cost one barony, and
And you really don't want it to cost Goldendale for a number of reasons.
or anybody else, but yes.
No, what I mean is that I can't underestimate the importance of Goldendale as a barony.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And
Yes. And it finally ding clicks.
it's
That
not
if they,
it's not just that, but if you think you've got all the answers, that's fine.
well, if Goldendale goes, then so does the Baron, and if the Baron is the rightful king, then so goes the rest, right?
More or less. The heart, you've heard of the hearts of the baronies pretty clearly. I've heard your story. they all represent a different tenet of the country as a whole. Star Coast was its outward face. It was its nobility, its diplomacy. That's why
Mm-hmm.
it was so closed off in those last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Cedar Grove is its somewhat more private face. It's warm undergarments. It's
Mm-hmm.
general hardiness and ability to survive. Gray's Inn is, well, I mean, it matters obviously, but not as much as some. Goldendale is the heart of hearts. It's not just because the king lives there, that's just why the king was called there. Well, the queen and the prince in waiting.
Mm-hmm.
It's also why some people might have been compelled to settle there and help defend it. Should it come to that. And if you're impatient, I imagine anyone else who wants the place gone is going to be equally so. So if you want your dragon slayer, you want it fast. This one needs to chill because I have an answer to your question. I also have a name if you want to hear it.
Yes, please.
Chloe Lenark.
Well,
You've probably met my father.
yes, with great fondness. He's a
Oh,
wonderful man.
who do you think made this? Holds up the harp.
Hey, who do you think made this? Holds up the viol.
Oh, I knew from the moment I heard it played. I didn't think it needed saying.
The man yeah.
Now listen. I had something of a birth and transport over to the free city of Alzor High and entry into the governor's presence, I suppose, to seek entry into the Brass Arrows, just for another story, really. I am willing to hand that off to you. If you're able to leave tonight.
We settle up.
Yeah,
with,
we can do that.
Yeah, we settle up at the Barva's Boast, and yes, there's absolutely no reason we can't head out tonight.
Yeah, and Flitty's going, you're going to have to leave a note for the Clarity Lady so she can get her own room.
Of course. Well, I'll cover her room. At least for a few days.
And there's just sort of headbutts. Book. Yes.
Oh, Chloe, Flitty, Chloe.
I've heard of them, and in very struggling Sylvan. Hello to you. Hi! You can talk to us! I've heard so much of Lyra Lady, and hear how she likes those to talk to her pets.
Yes.
I bad at Sylvan.
You'll get better very fast.
Possibly. And she's gone back to common. Alright, look. There's an airship leaving from the northeast port about sundown. It rummages around through a haversack and pulls out a letter. There should be enough room for the five of you. Because I was gonna hire somebody along the way anyway. So, and hands it to Darvin. Anything you want to get done here, get done between lunch and get some food, because it's going to be a couple of days journey, yes, but airship food, there's not a lot you can do with airship food.
Yeah. Trapped audience, that type of
Guess
thing.
some things are universal.
Well, there's not. It needs to last, and a lot
Mhm.
of the power is used to actually get you there quickly. At least it's only going to be a couple of days.
Mm.
The journey over land would take you at least 3 weeks.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Well,
Yeah. No.
by the means you guys are used to. There's the train, but that'll take you a week and a half.
Yeah. Well.
You still want faster. Faster would be better.
Hmm. Yes.
Very
Very
fast.
much so.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go, 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 go.
Hazel.
Yeah, I can see the boots. Don't click the boots when you're in that kind of mood. We won't see you for dust.
We won't
Yeah.
see him. We won't see her for days.
Trying not to go.
Hazel, breathe.
Deep breath. Have you got what you need out of this lore mood?
More than. Yes. Oh. Uh. Out of the lore moot. Yes. 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 Reminding me of things I need to see to before.
Well, if you want to get like bits and pieces done, because if I know anything about this one, here's a good way to keep her mind off impending panic. I imagine she's gonna want to do some shopping for the parents at home. So
Yep.
you do that after lunch, grab some dinner, and get yourselves to the Northeast Docks.
Done and done. Thank you, and thank you all.
They give a nod bow. That's what we do now. And Torin is going, you've given us a lot to look at in a new light as well. Obviously we can't say for certain when the next lore moot is. They're not exactly properly scheduled things. They come up as needed. So whether it's through the grace of some god or just arcane luck, we don't know, but you may find that whatever bard you find in whatever place you're in will have something that you'll probably have lore moots springing up around you before long. We've got some other things that you've left us to discuss. So,
Right.
But you've got things to do for your
Yep.
next great song. So off you go.
Torin, thank you for everything.
Oh, go to Millicent. Tell her I sent you. Lunch.
Okay.
You're made of cat.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm
These
trying to
things happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what he wants. Like, I don't know. It's like either settle in or go. One of the two. Just
Just
get out of my-
standing there on your
He's,
lap.
he's trying to replace Pim Pim is what he's doing.
Yeah, basically. He's standing on my stomach and it's not comfortable. Anyway, need to send a message to of courtesy, if nothing else, to the Shatterstone village.
And Torin's like, I needed to go visit anyway. I'll do it.
Oh, well, thank you. It was just to let them know about
Yeah,
the
I've still
you
got
and we
family
talked
there,
about
and
that.
I had plans in that general direction. So don't worry about it.
Thank you.
It's covered.
Thank you. Right. So then, shall we go to?
It's getting to lunchtime, and
Yeah,
Darvin
let's go,
is probably
you said-
hearing the usual grrr of his stomach.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
we can see is product placement, Ethan.
Sorry. I'm trying to do 6 million things at once.
I know.
Work and everything. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Okay. So you said Millicent's, right?
Tell her I sent you.
We will. So to Millicent's.
And he gives approximate directions. Remy kind of knows the vicinity. Millicent's, when you get there, looks it's off the beaten track, so it's not obviously not a touristy kind of destination. And as per the discussion at the lore moot, there seems to be slices of raw fish and bits of things and rice rolled in what appears to be some kind of dried seaweed paper. There's some other stuff that's actually cooked at some of the other tables, but it's clearly a family-run place, and you've got another bronze dragonborn actually is slicing fish at the counter. It's like, welcome to Millicent's. How can I help you?
Turin said we should stop by.
Oh, well, in which case, let me guess, you're new to stuff like this.
Very.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Well, I'll set you up a starters shared thing, and your meal's on the house.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a bard. I'll never turn down a free meal.
Torin sends folks in from time to time. He's sort of a second cousin of mine. And usually whenever he sends somebody to us, it's because they've never had it before. And usually when we encounter people who've never tried it before, if it turns out they don't like it, they get really pissy about paying for it. So now mentioning Torin means that I just know to give you a starter platter that you like, and if you like it, you can tip. If not, whatever. But your meal proper's on the house.
Much appreciated. Thank you. And I'm sure it'll be wonderful. I've so many new things in here, and it's all been amazing. So, and if Torin sent us here, well, I mean, it's for good reason.
Raw fish isn't to everybody's taste. And if it turns out you don't like it, there's some other bits and pieces. We do sort of interesting bits of sort of a spicy stew thing. There's obviously when he's talking, you can hear there are terms for it that he's not using because he knows you won't know them. But yeah, essentially he sets in front of you each the usual sort of sushi bento box kind of thing, you know, the nigiri and sashimi and hosomaki kind of stuff. Little pots of soup that Froseth does actually recognize because they serve this kind of miso soupish thing at the monastery.
He does know.
A little bit,
Yeah.
little tiny bit. He knows the tea and he knows the soup. The rest, no clue. Up by Cragveard, not that easy to come by that kind of thing.
I just start going, just grabbing little bits of everything, trying it. I mean, do I eat it all in one go, or
He actually takes. There are chopsticks, so you just get snapped. And shows the thing to do with wasabi, at which point he turns around to Hazel and says, I almost want you to try a tiny dab of the green stuff on its own, just to see how you react.
I am doing it.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, this isn't.
Constitution save.
Yes.
Oh!
It's
18.
clean and burny and spicy, and you can see how it would go in that brownish black sauce. I can't feel my mouth, but with this other stuff, wow.
I need more of this.
But he shows you how to doctor your sauce with it.
Nai notices this reaction and takes the whole glob of wasabi.
Oh dear God!
Constitution save
Oh,
at
boy.
disadvantage.
I rolled a 1, okay?
Actually, no, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even bothering. You know intimately the reaction to that much wasabi in one go. Because she only had a tiny little bit. This is not the guacamole incident. For you, it's the guacamole incident. For her, not so much.
So suddenly Nye is sweating bullets.
And he can't feel his face.
I didn't know Nye could turn that color.
Not that much.
I
That
think we broke the elf.
That was a bad decision, Elf. That was a bad decision, Nye. It was a very bad decision.
She looks like she likes it.
Yeah, a little bit, teeny bit, tiny little bit, more.
Eat some of the dark pink fish, it'll help.
And I'll go ahead and start trying some. And I mean, Darvin, having not often eaten fish raw, if ever,
Yeah, no,
um,
he's never eaten it raw. I
but
imagine that
it's
with Darwin, it's like he's had fish from both the river and the ocean at
right.
Star Coast, but this is fresher than his family
Mm-hmm.
normally got,
Yep.
and for obvious reasons. And while the cook was okay, there are these subtle flavors that cooking just kind of kills.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So it's like um, it's it's similar enough to things I've had in terms of like I know this is fish. This tastes like fish. But this is really, really, really good fish. I like this, but it's so different. I'm not sure if I like this, but I like this. But so it's that kind of a reaction where it's
Mm.
like I want more, but I don't know if I like it. So I just keep going, and I'm like, how many like assuming it's a typical sampler size, which really isn't all that much. I'm going to be like the ones where the bits where it's like, ooh, the ones that like it's definitely a preference. Like to some of them, it's like, oh, that's good. So can I have a couple more? Like this type and this type and this type, like these three.
And you actually see him assembling these from he's actually pulling fish out of basically barrels of ice and just dash with a knife and
And I'm like trying to follow it, but it's like blur. And I'm like, oh, gee, wow, okay, wow. Dude's better with that knife than I am with a rapier. Holy shit. And all that was out loud and in character and everything. So.
you just get a dragonborn kind of grin. Also, you've gone against your part a little bit.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Yeah, I'm growing it out, so it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Much like Jarvan's, so it works. Yeah, no, and I'm just everybody else can see I'm like thoroughly enjoying like this is like amazing. I'm like pulling out gold to just like boom, just like holy shit, plunk.
I imagine Froseth enjoying the sashimi particularly. It's not very often that
Yeah.
anybody just sort of serves him raw meat of any kind.
Yeah, I'm just like I have no idea what to tip. I have no idea what this costs. I don't care. I'm just plunking a gold at least. If that doesn't raise an eyebrow, I'll plunk two.
The 1 gold doesn't raise an eyebrow. The 2 gold does.
I'm like,
I have also plunked down 2 gold.
Hazel also gets, if you wanted some of the sauces and the green stuff to take home, they do sell that at Sugar and Spice.
ooh, thank you. Thank you. No more for for a minute. But yes, thank you. Can you breathe
Yeah,
yet?
we don't need to break the elf again, but this stuff is really good.
Well, next time you come back through town, we can try getting you a little bit more inventive.
Approximate look in Nye's eyes.
I'm like,
Hi, is anybody home? I'm just palming the side of his face.
oh good God, smack,
Well,
smack.
keep in mind he's had a hell of a couple of days.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay,
Hey, okay, you're good.
He's
You're
making-
alive.
I was afraid he was gonna flash back to Sandpiper Land.
I don't need him to be a bird right now.
I just expected to hear him just peeping.
Yeah. Okay.
We've
Well-
lost the track.
Yes, lunch is had. Lunch is apparently paid 4 gold for. We're good. It wasn't necessary, but it was very well received. And you are off with like 5.5 hours before you have to be on the ship. Yeah, we definitely are going to run long because I want you guys on the airship before we end session tonight. So what do
Okay.
you want to do? I know that sugar and spice was a thing. I know you wanted to drop into the doll's house properly. I'm sure there was some other stuff. You still have to settle up for the room last night. Maury
Yep.
wasn't going to deal with it while you were still nursing hangovers.
Yep.
But
Well, and we got to go back to the Bravo's boast to make because I want to give the room a once over, make sure we didn't leave anything behind.
yep. But given that you're out sort of more by sort of University Temple Lock,
Okay.
Remy might want to let parents know that they're probably not going to be able to visit again to any great degree.
Yeah,
Yes, you
I
will
still gotta
definitely
go
swing
pester
by
the
very
guy with the
quickly.
bolts.
Yeah, Remy, since we're leaving tonight, do we want to swing? Do we want to swing by your parents' place and let them know? Or have
Yes,
the ship out quick?
very
Since-
quickly.
Yeah, since if I
There
remember
will
right,
probably be cookies.
right. Well, since I remember right, if we're going to Sugar and Spice, we're gonna go by your parents' place on the way
Well,
there.
no,
At,
yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Good.
So
We
yeah,
know
so we
where
can
we
do
are.
that and then continue on. Okay, so we'll head to Crestwinds first, I guess. Everybody cool with that?
Yep.
Sound good?
Crestwinds is having its what Remy recognizes as its more normal day. Human from the sandwich stall, a little closer to the central market stalls, is in for his post lunch shipment of various different kinds of sandwich breads. So you guys kind of have to shuffle out of the way as this cart full of rolls and bread loaves goes running past, and the guy looks across, and you've grown up, but you haven't grown up. To Remy.
Well, what can I say?
Just saying, it's good to see you though. We'll
It's good to see
see.
you too.
Concentrated awesome.
Concentrated paladin.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Also true.
Comes from as he wheels off down the block.
Red man walking.
I hate you.
You're gonna get turned into another bird at this rate.
At which point you get ballistic Corey. I mean, we didn't expect you back so soon. This probably doesn't bode well for later visits, does it?
Yes, we have to head out tonight.
Well, give us 2 minutes. Amel, Remy's just popped by. Apparently, this is her goodbye visit, right? And you hear thump, thump, thump of footsteps up the stairs, whereas Corey ducks around behind the counter, and it does a bit of rummaging, and comes out with a basket. Long life bread, some of that gooseberry preserve you like, and Amel comes down the stairs and he's holding Puffy. And just holds him out to Remy. We had to let Puffy say goodbye.
I was gonna ask.
So yeah,
There will be lots of scritches. Puffy.
Puffy,
And I'll give-
tail wag, and hugs from both parents. You'll write. I hope we won't have to get missives from that lovely half elf girl who pops in for orange marmalade muffins every so often.
I will try to, yes.
Good. The-
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to, do you have any of, could we get like a small bag of cookies as well?
Did
Did
you go through the ones that we sent you with yesterday already?
Well, no, but I don't know how soon, how quickly we'll be able to come back to obtain more, and
Oh no, that's fair enough. We just wondered because it informs how many more we actually give you.
I actually don't know how many we have left.
Well, you never touched the bag from last night, and you still have a few of the
Okay.
older ones, although they're starting to go a bit. You probably want to replenish the ones that you first got.
Yeah. So, okay.
Uh,
So we still have a fair bit, but yeah.
Amel puts together a selection of the more longer lived ones and a separate smaller bag of the ones that you'd want to eat more right away, the chocolate chip ones. And while Amel's doing that, Corey is working on something behind the counter.
Mhm.
And when she comes up, she has this forest green iced cupcake with lighter green leaves piped around the edges and what looks like a sort of a silver-ish magic burst in the center. We came up with one for you, and hands it to Nye.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Nye, go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thankfully,
you
this
will-
green stuff isn't nearly as face melting as the other stuff.
No, this is not whatever that was. This is something else
That
entirely.
was so good.
Let me guess, you went to Millicent's.
Yes, yes, we did. Yes, we did. This one had a tiny little bit, and thoroughly loved it. This one had the whole dollop in one
I
go.
thought it was mashed avocado.
What are you?
More sheltered than you, dear, says Corey, and gives Hazel
And
a
I'm
little.
sorry, I thought I was the unwise one.
Anyway,
In
and
any case.
they sort of huddle up to Remy for more hugs. You write when you can, you be safe, you keep your friends safe, and they'll do the same with you, I'm sure. And
I will.
best of luck, okay? And come back soon
Okay.
if you can.
Hmm.
As soon as I can.
They wave you off with Amel still sort of holding Puffy, whose wagging tail is almost its own farewell wave.
I was waving to Puffy.
From there, I am assuming Sugar and Spice,
Mhm.
which is a rather larger general store than even Darvin's ever seen. Remy's used to it, but... And there's...
Wow.
I mean, it's mostly for spices, sauces, oils, and there's actually a whole sort of shelving unit of nothing but coffees from various different places, and
Yes.
and
Wow.
2 shelves of teas, spices from all over the place. There's a section towards the back that's the rice that the Dragonborn at Millicent's recommended for, and the seaweed paper and the green stuff and the black sauce stuff, and spices that Hazel knows about.
Ooh, Hazel. Well, could you, out of all of us, you would probably know that. Do you see anything that your parents can't get or don't get often? Like maybe we could send something back, like a care package. We could send them something.
Well,
I am already running from shelf to shelf.
yeah, basically, there's whole bunches of stuff that Hazel knows that mostly Khan brings when he gets this far, but he probably gets them from places like Gray's Inn, or he manages to get a boat out from Star Coast once in a blue moon. But if he gets them from Gray's Inn, he pays out the nose for them, and it's a lot cheaper here. I mean, for a goodly amount of the coffee, all the sushi making equipment, the various herbs and spices that and Hazel knows that her parents use on a regular basis, and a couple of bottles of the liquor that she remembers from a couple of the drinks she found particularly interesting. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously the liquor drives it up a bit, But even with a decent bottle of rum, which you don't get very much in her part of the world,
Hmm.
and everything else, you're still only looking at 5 gold.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting it probably on the train, and
Hmm.
shipping it out to. But
So then we'll.
mercenaries
Mhm.
must send care packages, so they could always ask it.
Hmm. So okay, so we've got that. So we're gonna have it. I'm gonna
5 gold.
ask
Are
if
we
they
doing
can.
that from party funds or from me?
It's up to you.
Seth, what do you think?
Something like this because it's for family. I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to it coming out of party funds, but if that's an issue, I'll pay
That
for it.
seems fine.
Because
How much do we have in party funds
you
anyway? I
guys are
should
doing
make note of
phenomenally
that.
well in party funds.
Yeah, we are. We really are.
Meanwhile, partially because Nye doesn't feel he can contribute to this since he didn't help earn most of those party funds, he's kind of walking the aisles, kind of sniffing, trying to find anything familiar smelling.
Party funds is if I recall correctly, 70 platinum, 373 gold, and 9 silver.
Make me a wisdom check, Nye.
My least favorite words.
I know. And yet, you always ask for these checks. So.
Okay.
Why I
Finding the
keep asking for
interface.
stupid checks too.
I mean, to be fair, you rolled a 19 on that one, so.
No, that was
Wisdom check.
that was perception, so.
Oh, right. Well, that's
Not bad.
yeah.
14.
Given the -2 modifier.
Yes, that's not awful considering the mod.
Yeah. There's stuff that might be close that's labeled Elven Wild, but it's not the same. And wherever it is you're from, you know it's not there.
Um,
Unfortunately, a decent roll, but this is some pretty specialty knowledge.
so I'm just watching Nye, not really making anything of it. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, we got everything, so I guess okay. I'm gonna ask if they can kind of bundle it up. It's in a.
Well, they're already in the process of bundling it as they've tallied everything off. So,
Okay, cool. So yeah, because with the idea being, yeah, we're sending a whole bunch of stuff home, so that's the idea.
We know.
Fair.
It's kind of obvious.
Fair enough. Thank you so much.
I will tell you what though.
Mhm.
I can knock gold off the price if you send that gold and a note back to. I mean, I recognize the accents, but if you can send that and a note to this candy maker and this.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Edwina.
Edwina, yes.
where we understand the book bow and candles running a little low on the squidgy bears, and we'd like to keep an extra bit of stock in. We're starting to hear some weird stuff from Baronsphere as a whole, and with Star
Yep.
Co shut down, it's looking harder to get
Mhm.
since. And one of the helpers, it's run by yet more halflings in this case, and is scribbling out a note and sticking it under the paper they've used to wrap up the
Mhm.
the bundle. So
Yep. We can easily do that. It would be our pleasure.
4 gold, and 5 gold because the 1 gold is going in with the
Mhm.
rest.
Yep.
Yeah. But it would be our pleasure. That would be yeah. No, Edwina is wonderful, and anything we can do to help you guys and her in the process, by all means. We're all in this together.
Fair enough. After that, did you still want to stop at the doll's house?
Do you guys
Because as I recall, you were looking for a noop.
Yes. Yes, I do want to go ahead and stop at the doll's house. Do we want to? Yeah. Yeah. So I had plans of wanting to stop at the doll's house to look around a bit. And was there any place else? Did anybody else want to go anywhere?
I've still got to stop by that the crossbow pieces guy, and I want to look around for one other thing in the general market, but
Well,
that can wait till after cross.
you're cutting through the general market on the way to the doll's house anyway. So
Yep. Yeah, we can. You can do the general market and the crossbow guy on the way to the doll's house.
All right.
So we'll go. We'll do your errand. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Come on. Don't everybody speak up at once.
maybe they just don't have anything they need to do.
Oh, I know. This is in character. This is in character.
I know one thing I'm not doing. I'm not going down that alley again.
Yeah, that'd be wise.
Oh well, if it's wise, never mind. Anyway, okay. So yeah, I guess we'll take care of your errand, or
Yeah.
Hazel.
Yeah, Hazel makes a beeline back for the place that does the bolts, and as well as the various original kinds of glowy. There are some that have this sort of almost very pale purple, almost aura about them.
Ooh, these are the ones you talked about before, right?
Those are the psychic, yeah.
I'll take 5.
Hey Hazel.
What did those do?
Psychic damage.
Hazel. Lay in for some ice ones too.
All right.
Yeah, okay, so the specialty ones are gold apiece, and you want 5 of the psychic and how many of the ice?
Let's make it 5 of each.
Yeah.
Okay, and carefully bundle them up sort of
Party
separately.
funds again, or
Don't mix them up.
yeah.
And keep in mind, these are only going to work once.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Party funds again, I'm assuming? Or do you want me? Guys?
I think Froseth is thinking.
Again, it's for the party.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is probably closer to the use for party funds than buying family stuff is. And I think Froseth is probably remembering him getting his karma when...
mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So how much was it?
10 gold
10 total?
total.
10. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking
they're going to
variety.
be they're going to be each 1d6 psychic damage and 1d6 cold damage, respectively.
I just variety, mix it up a little. Not literally.
Yeah, because like I said, and if you wanted variety, you could get like 2 psychic, 2 ice, 2 fire, 2 lightning.
Yeah,
2
but
acid.
sometimes we have to do more than just 2. Anyway, thank you. You said there was something else that you were looking for there,
In the
Hazel.
main market.
Yeah, I'm looking for any other stalls that could be selling armaments, like maybe one that has a spear.
There's plenty that have spears, but at the same time, given how quickly you're going to be trying to get to Jenna's, wouldn't she just make you one if you asked?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, a spear is pretty, pardon the pun, straightforward.
oh,
I'm the bard.
Would it have been better if
that
I
one
had
hurt.
pointed it out? That one was an accident.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
doing that.
Anyway, why do you need a spear, Hazel? I mean, you have a hammer. You have a staff.
I know.
You have a crossbow.
You don't want anyone You don't want him hitting anyone with the staff, but you guys, because it's, bing, you have health. Bing, you have health. Bing, you have health.
Well, yeah, Darwin hasn't realized that, but yeah.
I've got reasons. There's stuff I gotta save the hammer for, and stuff I'm gonna need something else for, and I'm good with pointy things a lot more than most people seem to think.
No, I've got no problem with it. I was just wondering, maybe, I was asking because maybe something else would work better.
Do we wait for... So, do we want to just hold me off until we get to Jenna's, or get one now while we can?
I mean, if we get one now, it's probably just going to be something simple.
It's fine.
I mean, were you just wanting to poke things from a distance? I mean,
Something
we can
like
just
that.
we can just get you a basic spear. That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're fine with, if you want just a basic spear, we can do that. Or were you looking for something with a little more oomph? Because if you want something with a little more oomph, then yeah, you might want to wait for Jenna.
Yeah, because
I
you're not gonna be looking at +1 or anything. You're gonna be straight up spear.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a basic spear. If I want something nice, it's gonna be something by Jenna. Has to be by Jenna.
Yeah, then we can totally just get you a regular spear. Sure, no problem.
Yeah,
So
you can get a decent spear for like cheapest 3 gold, slightly sturdier for 5.
Okay, yeah, we'll go for the 5, just to be on the safe side. Don't want it breaking in the middle,
Right?
At the worst possible time. So.
Okay.
So from here,
It would be the doll's house from there.
doll's house, and then I think that's gonna be it.
The doll's house it's multiple floor, although it doesn't look like it would be from the inside. You come in, and the upper floors are actually just balconies, and it looks like bookshelves on the upper floors, but as you go up, you can actually see that the shelves have been separated into very specifically decorated little dollhouse rooms. Very intricate dollhouse furniture with very intricate dolls, and you can see in some places where the little shelves on the little tiny bureaus open and shut, and there's a spinning wheel that if you've got if you've got the manual dexterity for it, you can actually spin thread every bit of dollhouse furniture in there, from the little stove if you've got a small enough coal, to the spinning wheels and the the looms and that kind of thing. They all work. And yeah, on the ground floor there's just this menagerie of living plush animals. There's a bunch of dogs over in one pen of all different shapes and sizes. Some are small, miniaturized versions, and there's this big shaggy one that looks like one of the Sullivan Plantation Briards that's life-sized. And it's just gloomfing around the place, and there's cats of various sizes and other.
And I make a beeline right for the cats.
Yeah, there's one that the shade of gold yellow is a bit wrong, but looks
I'll be right back, real
sufficiently looks sufficiently noob-ish.
Yes.
And it kind of starts batting at his nose. Bunk, 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 bunk.
Yeah, this is
bunk,
perfect.
Bunk. Yeah, you'll
What are you?
you'll also see, those of you who are just looking around, that there's more than just rooms. There's also it's not just living space rooms. There's also little armories and little sparring ground areas, and they've even got little tiny swords and shields and spears.
What?
You could build, apparently, just this whole functional castle.
I just look at the spears and go, "Hey Hazel, I found you a spear." You can finger in the ear later.
No. I am not fingering. I am hugging him.
Oh,
I'm applying a Hazel tear hug to this to Darvin.
I'm rolling a strength check. My lowest stat is gonna suck. 10.
Thump.
Oh, jeez.
And you did knock over a display of animated plushy snakes, which have now escaped and gone
Oh
all
no.
over the place. And the plush
Hazel.
Noopa-like is actually chasing them.
Oh no, Hazel.
Back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody that's
Sorry.
sorry.
The family of gnomes is now plush snake wrangling, and there's a look that suggests you better be buying more than the fucking cat.
Oh boy.
Well, it's not like Jaloy couldn't use some pretty furniture, so.
Yeah. I will.
Unseen servant.
Is this helping to collect?
The
Oh,
snake.
he's helping to collect the snakes. I love it.
This is actually freaking the gnomes out. They're actually trying to pull the snakes off of the unseen servant, which
It's okay. It's okay.
thankfully
We've got
does
this.
not rip. Can you take the... Get out! This from just this whole family of 8 gnomes. Turn it off and get out! Thank you!
Remy's gonna start dragging people.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Well, no,
leaving
they
gold
were
somewhere for the cat.
they were talking to him. They just don't. It's like, apologize to your friend, but there are some. This whole room is full of. You won't understand your provincial, but let's just say if you mix the wrong kinds of magic in here,
Oh.
Oh.
all in one place.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. We've seen what happens when magic does
Remy,
things wrong.
Remy, can you step out and make sure Nao's okay and let him and
Yeah, I've heard stories about a certain sorcerer's apprentice who got in trouble that way.
Get
shut up.
out!
That was
Remy
from the
will
street.
Drag Nye out and
Yes,
they'll wait.
they just want to not
outside.
think about him right now. Low wisdom
Yeah.
score. I love it.
This is great. That was well played. Anyway, so I'm gonna look around for just some nice things to get Jaloy.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically any room you can think of, but of course the most interesting bits here are the working spinning wheel, the working loom, the working oven, that kind of thing.
Which I don't know if Jaloy even spins
She
anything.
could learn. Would Xana have a fun time teaching Jaloy clothcraft?
You know what? Hang on a second.
I vote yes to whatever it is you're doing, Darvin.
Not enough to think of it. Froseth. So I want to get Jaloy some stuff because I know she's got the really nice bed, but I'm looking around. I mean, the spinning wheel's cool, but I don't know. What do you think?
Well, if Hazel's overhearing this, she knows her little gnomish sister.
Okay, I'm gonna just point out the things that I
What? Oh,
that.
what? Which?
She's basically pointing at the spinning wheel and the loom.
Yeah,
Oh, you think
those
that'd
two
be-
definitely?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking
Trust
about
me,
it, but I wasn't
you
sure.
get that, you're gonna entertain more than just Jaloy.
That will probably twig it for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get that. Like something else, because she's got the really nice bed. But like, what else? Like, would she need?
Well, there's
I mean, like a wardrobe, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know pixies. I don't know what pixies need.
well, wouldn't the loom and the spinning wheel be enough, really? Those are the more costly items, just because of the sheer precision you need to make them work.
Okay. We'll get the cat. That's going to one person. The spinning wheel and the loom. Can those be sent? I know they're really like I worry about them being.
It's not the individual pieces. It's just when you got that many of them together in this room, in the same room.
Oh no, I just meant I didn't know how fragile they were. That's all.
We tend to pack them with their own special charms if they need to be shipped out. I mean, normally we don't ship them any farther than Zlatoa, but yeah, they tend to make the trip to Egref fine enough.
Can we get them all the way to Goldendale?
Well, I know we get some stuff from that kind of area. We get it as far as Gray's Inn, should be okay. We
Okay.
can do that.
Awesome. Then yeah, we're gonna get. We're gonna get the cat. That is gonna go with us. But then the spinning wheel and the loom, I need those sent to Goldendale.
Okay, we can definitely do that. With the shipping, you are looking at 10 gold.
I'll cover that.
Thank you, Darvin.
No, thank you for the help coming up with something. I almost had it.
Yeah, it's been running through your head for a while now. Zana's the one that made you the coat that you're
Uh-huh.
wearing in the first place,
Yep.
and the
So
whole I should introduce you to my father.
Yep. So it finally pinged. It just took a minute, and he did Hazel's help. So yeah, we're
Okay.
good. So from
you-
here,
From
I'm
here,
done at the doll's house. Does anybody else want anything?
I think everybody's more or less done.
On the way out, I'm apologizing again to the gnomes. I am so sorry about that. That was my fault.
Maybe less the hugging the next time, but you have the face of somebody who's done that in way too many places. Do better.
Okay.
And the elderly matriarchal gnome just presses something into Hazel's hand and shoves her out the door. When she looks into her hand, there is this tiny animated plush. It's kind of looks like a mouse, but it's rounder and grayer and puffier. It's and it has a tiny tag around its neck. Hello, I am a chinchilla.
Oh,
God.
oh snap! That's what I forgot to ask. I wanted to ask if I could get a little collar for the kid, a little name tag that said Noop. Oh well.
I am very carefully setting the chinchilla on my head.
And when you get outside, Nye is playing catch with his unseen servant.
At least easier to entertain than Hazel.
Look, I have this thing for the next 55 minutes or so.
Wow.
Okay. Sure. Anyway.
It moves very slowly. You can dispel it at will, you know. Just saying. Anyway.
I guess looking from
Yeah,
somewhere
you're
for-
starting to get your best bet at this point is to grab a quick meal at the Bravo's Boast, settle
Yep.
your tab, do whatever you're going to do about clarities, and
Let's go.
zoom.
So let's go get dinner and then head on.
Dinner at the Bravo's Boast is yet more of the wild boar, but it's this sort of hickory roast ham kind of a deal.
I walk in, that smell hits me in the face, and I'm like, oh, I know what I'm having for dinner. Oh, it's amazing.
I love this city.
Oh, I just love the people. Well, most of them. At least the ones we. Never mind. I'm not going to say that out loud.
It's a little early for most of the diners, so you do actually get a table relatively easily. And Maury, who's pretty good at gauging appetites, manages to plunk, plates of. Because, sushi, it's like you eat and you're full, and then a couple of hours later, and you've had a day running around shopping,
Mhm.
so you get thick slices of ham, mashed potatoes,
Yes.
gravy, mixed veggies.
Yes. This is quite good. Yes.
Yes, and Maury's going. Were you staying on, or because we had discussions with the with young Miss Clarity. She passed through on the way out. She wasn't sure what you were going to be doing, so she left the arrangements up to you.
Yes, we are actually having to head out tonight, so we did want to settle up for last night. Also, I didn't know if Clarity was staying here,
Uh,
and if so, for how long. And I wanted to go ahead and cover her stay as well as
appar-
a final
appa-
parting gift.
apparently she has to for at least another week, because her new position, which Andromeda would not stop talking about, she's quite
Of
thrilled by
course
the
not.
whole thing. She, you know, she will have to have some place to stay for the next week. She
Hmm.
just wasn't sure what you all were doing. A single room is it's a silver per night. It's a smaller room, obviously, but
Hmm.
you're paying a little bit extra for the privacy
Hmm.
because your original rooms would have fit five.
Right. Then yeah, I will definitely pay cover hers for the week.
So
And
that's
I'll put an entire gold down for that. Or was it one or two? I can't remember the conversion.
it's
Seven.
10. It's copper is to a silver what a penny is to a dime. A silver is to a gold what a dime is to a dollar.
Gotcha. Okay, so then that's going to be 7 silver per night. That's 7 nights. That's
No,
5
No, it's
gold
not seven.
roughly.
That's
no,
not. No, it's a
I think.
silver per night.
Oh, a silver. My bad.
A silver per night for
Oh,
one room because your 20 silver room would have fit five.
oh, my bad. I misheard. I apologize. It's been a long day, and it's going to be. And it's not over yet. Then yeah, I'll just drop it on whole gold, just for
Well,
everybody.
it also helps that that you're covering the room for last night wouldn't cover your meal tonight. So throwing in a little
Right.
bit extra is it isn't
Politics.
a nice thing to do. Although she clearly wouldn't have asked.
Yeah. Well, I just did. So yeah.
Well,
And I'm covering that out of my own expenses because this is my final parting gift to Clarity.
as you're leaving us, we'll have to do one final bit of celebration of our own. So, uh, give us a bit of an indication. Dry, sweet, or herbal?
Uh,
all of the above. With a little bit of each.
That doesn't quite work, dear.
yeah. No.
You unfortunately have to pick one.
I'm looking at Nye going and pointing at him and going, herbal.
All right then, just one moment.
Hazel,
Mm.
sweet.
Mm.
Froseth, dry.
Oh God, that expression.
And he's shaking his head, so Darvin's got it wrong.
Oh, really? Sweet then? Oh no, herbal.
There you go.
No, he's
Oh,
asking.
no, sweet. Oh, sweet. Okay, my bad. Okay, switching it up. Remy. Remy. Hmm.
Dry.
Oddly enough, I was going to say herbal, but but yeah, dry.
Yeah, sure.
Can I make an insight check?
I believe the yeah, go ahead.
Hey.
Wow, 20
I'm,
Don't-
total?
Straight 20.
I'm personally going to guess that her only baseline criteria for any of this is alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, dry is good.
Okay, and then sweet for me.
Right then, and off she goes to the bar, and you get this in stereo whistles from the bar, and if you turn, Jed and Jazz are doing the most impressive cocktail display you've seen yet. Putting together the dry was Remy basically, and herbal was Nye. So you remember those coffee flavored, those mocha flavored things at
Mhm.
the Book Bow and Dragon? Same glass, but clear with some. You've probably seen olives in it. Um, for Nye, it's basically a tallish glass. Um, Again, it's an amber green, but it's a different amber green with sort of a slice of lemon and what appears to be a sprig of mint on the side. And those of you who've gone for sweet get these bowl-shaped glasses on stems full of this. It's more of a slush drink. It's orange, but it's not quite orange. It's that same deep reddish orange from that hits you like a brick concoction from last night.
It's orange, isn't it?
That's where my absinthe
No, it's
went.
not. It's mango.
Ooh, even better.
So, yeah, basically, there's no word for what Nyes is beyond the fact that it is herbal with a little bit of citrus bite. Remy's basically got a martini, and the rest of you have got what is effectively a sort of a mango margarita kind of deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Decent.
Food.
We heard about your affinity for the slushy drink, so we brought that out special.
Thank you so much.
I'm
This
putting
is
4 of
wonderful.
my own gold on the table for them.
Are you sure? When she just when that look crosses Hazel's face, she just flicks them to Jed and Jazz one at a time, and they do the juggling act again. It's kind of a farewell kind of a thing, and give you a bit of a bow before they go back to their usual serving. And of course, you're always welcome to come back through.
It would be our pleasure.
We look forward to hearing about you, from you, and seeing you again. Do you have time for dessert?
Well, we need to be on a ship by sundown.
You probably got just about enough time. You did rather devour that.
I did taste it. It was amazing.
Yes,
I expected nothing less.
comes back with bowls of. Again, it's iced concoction, but it's creamier and a sort of a yellowish white with what smells like melted chocolate on the top and a sweet whipped cream. They've made you chocolate sundaes.
Wow.
I love this city. This city is the most bizarre, anachronistic mashup, and it's great.
Oh,
I
wait
mean-
till you guys spend some time in Eggraf. I'm just saying.
Look,
Steampunk
Hazel.
chocolate factory themed restaurant. That's all I'm gonna
Look.
say.
Hazel. This city had to be great. It made Remy.
It's a very good point.
Okay, yeah. How?
I just love slipping the compliments in just because.
I kind of imagine Hazel's like, if we happen to cut through the market one more stop, I want a book on how to make this icy slushy stuff.
Yeah, she's kind of fiending over it. Possibly fast enough to
Brain
brain
freeze?
freeze if I'm not careful.
It's not so, yeah, and of course, Darvin, remember Sigwald's advice. Try to breathe on the back of your own throat.
That's interesting.
He's not even
Just-
going to tell her. is he?
I'm just watching. Breathe, Hazel.
Oh boy.
If you breathe, it fades. I believe the phrase was breathe on the back of your own throat.
Ah.
Good luck.
Ah. Ah. I'm okay.
So apparently too tasty to slow down on.
sometimes slow is worse, or sometimes fast is worse.
God, we are now made of meme.
Given the subject matter of the campaign, it's only fitting.
Fair enough. In any case, you do finish up with enough time. If you don't make any other pit stops, Hazel can actually, as you cut through the study lock, find a book on arcane ice cream making.
Grab it, bag of holding, and let's go.
Yeah, Hazel will have to spend 2 silver on that.
Okay.
And
Oh, while we were at the inn, I asked since I completely forgot, and now we're on the way to the thing, and I'm not going to have time. So I wanted to ask if Maury could see her way into getting the bundle on.
oh no,
The
that's hardly a problem. We do trade with Gray's Inn from time to time, and we've got various connections in Egref. We can see to it without a problem. Is there any particular message you want sent with it?
No, it's any message that it needs is already in it, so we're good.
All right, that's fine.
And I'll give her a gold for the trouble.
Thank you very much. And again, we look forward to hearing of your exploits and hosting you again.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to backtrack there.
No, that's fine. It's if it's something you remembered, it's just we are now running significantly
42 minutes late. Yes.
Yeah.
So under the thing.
Yes. There are actual conveyances that can get you across the city fairly quickly, which you probably won't pick up until Hazel has got her book on arcane ice dessert making. It's got whole sections on ice cream, sorbet, the slush drinks, and it's all stuff that you imagine Twilly can do pretty easily.
Oh no.
I mean, there's an icebox for a reason.
And you get conveyed to the edge of town to right about there, like where there is a fairly sturdy wood and metal platform, hitched to which they look kind of like boats, fairly large ones, enough for a fishing crew to go out for a few days, attached to large air bladders, effectively. There's propellers, and there's also crystals that are glowing faintly. There's a conductor, human, youngish. And then there's about 3 of them parked around, so you're gonna have to. If you ask, he will direct you to the one that's heading out to the outskirts of Alzor High, which is where you want to go for the brass arrows. He takes your letter and takes a good long look at it and goes, "We were supposed to have a Chloe Lanark. Bards. They change their minds so frequently. On you go." Cabins down below, they each fit 2. Elf won't have a problem. They trance. They don't really sleep. And, pleasant travels. You got here just about in time. And yeah, pretty much as you get yourself settled into your various rooms, Remy and Hazel in one, Froseth and Darvin with well, nigh fitting into whatever seat is available on the other. You head out for the province of Alamaver and the free city of Alzor High, there to meet with the Brass Arrows.